Hello everyone and welcome back to ESA Summer Online. We are raising money for Alzheimer Fountain. Links to donate can be found below the stream. We would also like to thank Kaspersky, Twitch and ViewSonic for sponsoring this event. Now it's time for ShadowFrost and Super Mario Galaxy 2. Take it away!
Alright, thank you so much, Agama. So yeah, we're gonna be playing Galaxy 2 today, and there's a bunch of cutscenes in this, so I'm just gonna start a run and do introductions. So going in 3, 2, 1, go! So yeah, today we're playing Super Mario Galaxy 2, the any percent category. I'm joined here by Elias, who also runs this game and other Galaxy games.
Hello, I was about to say SMH, not even introducing the commentator.
This game starts out with so many intro cutscenes that I was like, let's just get that run started after the issues that we had, and let's just move on. So,
understandable.
So yeah, this is the second installment in the Galaxy series, and yeah, we're playing any percent, which is basically beat Bowser. For that, we need to collect a total of 70 stars for the final Bowser level to unlock. It's not like SM64 that we can, skip like a bunch of requirements, clipping 2 doors. It's like we're kind of stuck with the requirement of getting 70 stars. Oh, and overall, we need to beat certain levels as well during the run. Usually, I'll explain that a bit more once we actually make it out there. So yeah, we're just starting out in this little bit of a tutorial section. We just got Luma, and Luma gives us the ability to spin. And spinning is good. Spinning is great in Galaxy. It does all the things. It makes us break stuff, it makes us jump a bit higher. What other things does spinning do? That's the most important things. And there's Bowser, and it's your basic Mario plot. Bowser, of course.
Wait, the plot is simple. I was here for the plot. Oh, come on.
Oh, we can try to make the plot more interesting.
You want to lose to Bowser for once?
Yes, let's do that. Let's just think. We'll lose to Bowser and then just go back home, and then we're done. That would be much, much faster than what we're about to do.
Any percent, lose the game.
Any percent, game over. Just game over as fast as you can. Imagine if you actually could game over here. What would happen? Anyway, so yeah, right now we're still in the Mushroom Kingdom, but we're quickly gonna be leaving that because these Lumas are gonna transform into a launch star. They recognize the Luma. Like, if you played Galaxy 1, it might seem familiar. That's this little guy that helps Mario. Mario doesn't seem to recognize him though, so who knows. But yeah, and with this little introduction section, we're actually gonna go into the first stage now, which is Sky Station. And each stage always starts out with this little star select screen. Each stage has 2 or 3 missions, kind of depending on the stage. In some stages we'll get like all 3 of them, but there's also gonna be stages where we're gonna only get 1. So right now we're actually, we're immediately starting out with quite a little skip here. Normally you're supposed to go to the other side of the planet and find a pipe to get on top of there. But with wall jumping, and if you do a wall jump and a spin afterward, great start! I love this.
Off to a great start.
Anyway, I can show it off again. It went so fast that skip. We gotta show it off again. So yeah. As you can see, just if you do a wall jump and do a spin immediately afterwards, you can actually kind of get up on top of higher platforms, and that's really gonna be useful for like a bunch of places.
That's the main form of, I guess, climbing in this game. Climbing in vertical movement in this game can be very extensive, as you're seeing, due to the aforementioned combination. Of course, there's technically the maximum height can be achieved with the triple jump and then spinning, walking spin. But there's a bunch of different mechanics which we'll probably go into later on in the run as well. There you can gain height with in the jumps.
Yeah, right there we grab the comet medal. Right now it isn't gonna do a lot, but later on the more comet medals we have, the more comet missions we'll unlock. And overall comet missions are fast, so we try to get the comet medal in each stage. There's like one exception in the entire run that we don't go for the comet medal. And yeah, here we get to the first boss. It's like, it's not the same as the first Galaxy 1 boss, but it's still a piranha. This time, instead of hitting it still, we actually need to break its shell. You can either break it by spinning against the shell twice in the same spot, but as you can see, if you do a ground pound on its shell, it actually breaks immediately. Therefore, we just let him run towards us, and then afterwards we can just immediately break the shell. You also see me shooting starbits at him afterwards. I do that because if you hit him with some starbits, he actually doesn't move as fast, and therefore you can actually hit him with a spin afterwards. And yeah, that's our first star. Only 70 more to go. I hope everyone is having a super comfy time. Like, if you're enjoying Galaxy, it's gonna be a nice few hours of this game. So yeah, now we get to this little planet, and right now it doesn't look like much, but we'll get like introduced to like the worst character in the game, I would say.
Oh no.
Oh yes, it's Luma, but he's better known in the community as Purple Idiot, because as you can see, he talks a lot. He talks so much. It's like, it's very, very convenient that we play on the Japanese version. The Japanese version is actually slightly faster than playing this on English, mostly because this text just scrolls by so much faster than the English version.
Also, are we gonna gloss over the fact that, I mean, it's Japanese, you can't read it, but this is the most intense dialogue selection you'll ever find in any game. The two options are yes and that's right.
Exactly. It's not like we can say no or whatever. We have to agree with him. We're forced to agree with... I feel bad calling him, continuously gonna call him Purple Idiot throughout this run. But it is his name.
Oh come on, there's also a skip that's called PIS, short for Purple Idiot skip, for a reason.
Fair. That's the most satisfying skip in the entire run, just so you can skip text boxes. But yeah, the main idea of this will act as our hub world now. Each time after we collect a star, we'll return to this planet, and then we have to step on that little platform to go into the world map here. And as you can see, it's definitely a little bit different than the Galaxy 1. It's much more linear, this game, as in, before you can progress through the map, you actually have to get a star in a stage to continue onwards from it. Right now we're not gonna go into the next Galaxy just yet, because, you know, we're here. We need a certain star requirement before we can move on later on, and it's very convenient to just grab Sky Station 2 now for that. You'll hear me see like Sky Station 2, and with that I mean the second mission in Sky Station. But you know, saying that continuously is just gonna take forever.
Also, in terms of the map movement, this game is, I guess, a bit of an exception in terms of the mainline Mario games, at least since Super Mario 64 came out. This is the game that most closely resembles the open world map in the old Super Mario Bros. Games, where you just... First, Super Mario Bros. 3, actually Super Mario Bros. 3 and this game are very similar, I would say, in overworld maps, where you have a few forks, options for stages you can do, but mostly there are some stages that you are forced into.
Oh.
Nice one-up.
Yes. The first time you grab a 1-up, it gives you a little text box like that saying like, this is a 1-up. This lets you gain an extra life. You can die one time extra. It is a little bit of a time loss technically, but it's so hard to avoid like all the 1-ups in this run that you'll get a text box somewhere regardless. At least, I always get it somewhere.
Yeah, the 1-ups in the Galaxy games are a bit weird, because there used to be this kind of precious good. The Galaxy games throw 1-ups at you. Quite literally, you just have 1-ups in front of you. It's hard to avoid them sometimes.
Yeah. Like, there's gonna be like 2 galaxies where I usually grab it on the route regardless, so it's like, no big deal. Yeah, heading to a little bit of the final section here. You see me, like, with a ton of starbits, and I'm actually gonna shoot them away, because at the end of each stage, you'll get, like, a little summary of what you collected. Like, you collected a star, now your total star count is this. You collected this many starbits, your total starbit count is this. But if you don't have any starbits at all at the end of a stage, actually that text box skips. So therefore you save like a second. Isn't super much, but if we do this for like 70 stars, that's like a full minute. It adds up.
The text box, if it is the same as Galaxy 1, it's actually 92 frames if you cancel it. No, not 92 frames. I mean, it's around between 1 and 2 seconds.
Yeah.
I can open spreadsheets and check, but I don't think it's too interesting of an information.
Yeah, just slightly more than a second. That's all you need to know. But yeah, so far we haven't really seen any new mechanics since Galaxy 1 because, you know, Mario Galaxy 1 was a thing. And in this game they've actually added like a bunch of new things, like extra power-ups, and one of the most major things that we're going to be using in this run is Yoshi. And we'll unlock him here first in Yoshi Star Galaxy. It's how fitting that he's in here, that he's introduced here. And we're actually going to go for a trick called Infinite Fluttering here. And this is probably like the hardest flutter I have to do in the entire run, so Elias, can you explain it?
YS1?
What?
You're not gonna do the... Okay, you're gonna do the common flutter. Understandable then. Sorry, I played too much Green Stars lately, so I'm used to the other version.
Yeah, in the 80%. I mean in the 80%. But yeah, that's like, we get Yoshi here, he's super happy. And we're gonna grab the Scum Medal here. And I'm gonna try to line this up.
Okay, in the meantime, if you want, I can go out with the mechanics behind it, and that works. So, Yoshi is in the game, in Mario game, and surprise, surprise, Yoshi's broken. Nice. So, if you crouch after having fluttered, it cancels the flutter flag, simply in the game. So, what you can do is flutter, press the Z button, and then release Z and press A again, and that allows you to gain height. You can see the Yoshi doing the tiny, like an animation where the head goes down for a bit. That's the crouch. And when it comes to gaining speed, the Galaxy games have a quirk in the engine, obviously, because Mario and backward speed is always somehow somewhat not working too well. So, when you move backwards in this game and in Galaxy 1, you gain more speed than when you move forwards. That's because the game caps your speed. It basically sets a cap to the speed, but the cap is skewed towards the back to prevent the whole BLJ nonsense that you can see in Super Mario 64. That means that if you travel backwards, or even slightly backwards, but a lot to the side, you gain a lot of speed, and that's what's used in the Yoshi Flutters to gain speed. You're almost never perfectly perpendicular. You're always slightly slanted towards, so that you're moving backwards, and that way you can gain a lot of speed. And you'll see again another example of this now.
Yeah, because the one in Yoshi Star we skip like a smaller section, I would say. It's like going to one planet. We can actually use these Yoshi Flutters to skip like even more. Like, for example, and this stage is like the perfect example to that, because there's like 3 or 4 planets that we actually have to go through, but since Nintendo doesn't really place invisible walls in this game, we can actually like already flutter to where the final planet is gonna be. So I'm actually gonna line up here and just start fluttering away from where we are. Actually have to be a little bit careful here with that camera turn. It's a bit weird with the camera turning, but as you can see, we just fluttered all the way to the final planet, to the boss fight.
Yes, this flutter can be extremely punishing for people who are learning the game, because it's not necessarily a super hard trick, but in this case, with the camera turn, you also have to turn the direction you're holding. It can be pretty complicated to set up.
Yeah, and especially with that camera turning, you actually need to, well, yeah, what you said, like the camera turning is a thing, and just, you need to have like complete control over your flutters. Like, when you start to learn out your infinite flutters, you occasionally drop like a flutter here and there, and with this trick, it's like super unforgiving if you mess that one up. Like, if you just mess up one, you're actually gonna hit the dead plane that's down below. There is some dead planes that we avoid. But yeah, this boss, yeah, just not much going on. He throws spinies at us. Actually, already, while we shoot him, we actually already move towards where the star is gonna be. It's like one of those smaller time saves. Often I accidentally just forget to move towards the star, thinking like, oh right, that's a thing. I need to go towards the star. And also leaving.
Wait, do you need to collect stars? What?
Yeah, I know, it's weird.
Damn.
Do we have time for a quick donation?
Sure we do.
And we've got $50 from Anonymous without a comment. But the donation goes towards The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword any %. The file name should be Entroy Visoy. So that's currently leading there. Thank you for your donation. Yeah. And also I want to give a quick shout out to the tech crew who's working behind the scenes to make sure everything is smooth and real quick, even if there are minor issues.
So yeah, now we're gonna go into Spindig, and this is another galaxy where a new power-up gets introduced, and you can see it here. It's the drill power-up, and the drill power-up is kinda bad speedrunning-wise, because normally the fastest way to move is with, like, long jumps. However, if we are holding the drill power-up, it's... if you hold the drill power-up, you can't do long jumps, which is kinda bad. And you can't really do your spin either, because at the moment you do a spin, you actually use the drill and you can dig through these soft areas. That was also the intention on that planet. Get a drill power up and get on top of there. I'm actually gonna use an homing spin attack there, because if I do that and then hit the power up, I actually keep the momentum from the homing attack that's actually targets towards the thing. And that is just faster than moving there. And also, if you align yourself there, you can kind of clip in the wall, just so you don't have to move that extra little step towards the left.
Also, we have we mentioned before the comet medals. You can see that we went out a bit out of the way to get these one. Obviously, it is a slight time loss, but it is going to be worth it in the end, simply because the comet stages you unlock with 28 and 32 comet medals totals, which we will get to exactly 32 if I remember correctly, are extremely fast. So the route is kind of forced to get all these comet medals because it will pay out in the end.
Also, we're super mean to Captain Toad there. If you normally when you land there, he gives you a text box, but if you quickly go into first person mode and stun him with a star bit that you can shoot, that will actually kind of gives him that little animation of getting hit by the star bit, and during that moment we can actually walk away from him to skip the text box. Now this is Megaleg, where the boss actually involves some randomness. It's random which way he's gonna jump after he does his attack, and ideally we want him to jump on top of us, because if he does, he'll just jump to the other side and doesn't continue jumping around. So there, he did it again. That's great. And yeah, at that point we can immediately attack him again. And so also, if he destroys if any of those yellow enemies die during when he's jumping around, he'll actually spawn more of them. If he just immediately jumps to the other side, usually one or two will survive anyway, so that's also a nice extra convenience.
Okay, Frosty, the deck is telling us that you were dropping some frames.
Yeah,
I can confirm.
Yeah, I figured I'm trying to fix that while we play.
Buggers.
I
think you missed a split, by the way.
Yeah. People on ESA won't know that. They can't see my splits. But yeah, that should be better now, I hope. Anyway, so yeah, that was Spindig, and sometimes after you collect a star, there's like certain stars that will send you like to the bottom of this of the hub world, where a new resident has appeared on your hub world, and it's annoying.
Starship Mario.
Starship Mario. Sorry, I've been playing in Japanese for a while. I just forgot what it's called. But yeah, overall the routing is done in such a way that we can actually sometimes get teleported back to the top because there's other triggers that can happen on the starship. There you go. I said starship.
Such a wonderful word.
But yeah, well, I'll get to that in a bit. First, we're in right side down, and it's actually mostly a 2D level where we're kinda only able to walk left and right and go up and down. And that makes... And we can actually skip like a ton of things in here because, you know, there's certain gaps. Like, the idea behind the stage is that we can manipulate the gravity by hitting switches, but often you can just cross gaps anyway if you know where you're going. For example, there, instead of hitting a switch, you just drop down and get to the next set. Now a classic power-up returns. The Fire Flower. What would a Mario game be without the Fire Flower? There we actually go for a box skip, instead of breaking all the boxes. If you break a box and go through fast enough, you can just go in between the boxes. And it saves breaking some boxes. Here we get to the only little bit of a 3D section, and that actually allows us to go on top of the wall there because we're on a 3D section, and that lets us just go over the wall here just to get like the rest of skip the final part and just land right next to the star.
Red Side Down is one of the best stages in the game. It's quite broken, honestly, but that's the beauty of it, I guess. All right.
Yeah. And now, even though it's this stage only officially has one mission, but there's actually a secret star in this one. A bunch of stages will have an extra secret star hidden behind some different paths, or, well, not always hidden, but there's a different path that you can take and get another star. And this one is really, really fast, so of course we're gonna go for it. Fast stars are always good to go for. We actually, instead of turning the gravity around, you can actually just jump into that pipe. And we're actually gonna go to the... in the first game you had the trash minigames where you had to throw bombs. In this game, luckily they made like a slightly easier version. We still gotta clean out like a lot of trash, but this time we can start breaking boxes with the Fire Flower. And honestly, I think this is much, much easier than the trash minigame in the first game.
Much more enjoyable.
That as well.
I mean, the trash minigames are called trash for a reason.
Fair. But yeah, they're... like, you can... it is a nice indication of how much time is left on your timer to see how well you did. Like, we had 9 seconds left over, which is decent. I can do it with like 11 seconds left over if it goes really well, but, you know, sometimes you just... that needs like very precise fireball throws. Sometimes you just... if you slightly misangle, it's easy to miss a box here or there.
Do we have time for some quick donations?
Sure we do.
We've got $5 from KitCot saying, putting this towards the demise and back in time incentive for Skyward Sword. It's gonna be nuts. And this puts it at 311, which is getting pretty close, just 200 missing still. And we've got another $5 from Satanic Nerd saying, oh well, I was going to donate for the perfect run, but I see that's already been met, so Soul of Cinder it is. Good luck, Frosty.
Thank you, Satanic, and thank you, KitCod. Like, thanks everyone so much for donating. It's going to a great cause. But yeah, we're going into Fluffy Bluff, and we're probably gonna get my favorite power-up in this game now, which is the Cloud power-up. Cloud power-ups lets you... when you grab the Cloud power-up, you're able to create 3 of these clouds. It creates an extra platform that we can land on, which is super, super convenient, because at this point, you can already see the final planet back there, and we're just gonna lunge on there. With the 2 extra clouds, we should be more than easily able to make it here. If you do that correctly, which I didn't. Oh, I shouldn't say that though. I should say that that was the intentional way. But yeah, if you create clouds at the correct timing, you actually get a little bit of an upwards boost from creating the cloud. You can land on top of the waterfall already from those first 2 long jumps, but I mean, I shouldn't have mentioned it. So that was totally intentional. We just went.
Nah, you can also play as Luigi, and that's easier. I mean, not 90%, but in this game you can play as Luigi after you beat the game. So obviously, this being any percent, we're not gonna play as Luigi because the point of it is beating the game. But you can play as Luigi, and since you revisit some of the stages with Luigi, it's much easier to make some skips due to Luigi's characteristics, which is just a slightly higher jump and higher running speed. So that makes playing as Luigi makes the top, reaching the top instead of the bottom, pretty trivial.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate that we can't really play as Luigi in this, in the any percent run, because, well, we technically can. Like at one point, you can like switch to Luigi for like 1 stage, and then, but it takes like an extra 30-second cutscenes in total. It's like awful, so we don't go for it in any percent. However, in the other categories of this game, 120 stars, 242 stars, and green stars, you can actually at one point switch to Luigi permanently, and then you don't get the extra cutscene over and over. And at that point, it's worth it, because, yeah, why not take the faster movement from Luigi and whatnot? So yeah, now we're back again in Fluffy Bluff, because there's actually a secret in this stage. You actually saw it earlier, there was a Hungry Luma in this stage. And in this game, it's actually, there's also Hungry Lumas which require coins. This one is the greediest of them all, I would say, because this one requires a total of 100 coins. So we're actually playing this little mini game over here to collect, like, about 60. Right now we're at 62, and that's more than enough. Because once we get up here, there's actually, if we grab this extra big question mark coin, 40 more coins spawn. And as I mentioned before, if you don't have any star bits at the end of a stage, you don't get an extra text box at the end. Same goes for coins. So for that reason, I didn't go for grabbing the extra 2 coins there, because at this point, this stage will end the stage with 0 coins, and that again will save a text box at the end. And yeah, I just shoot away star bits. Getting rid of star bits is easy. Getting rid of coins isn't.
Now, luckily, I mean, there are Lumas in the overworld that will request star bits. Luckily, there is a mechanic in the game that allows runners not to be bothered with collecting star bits, which is Bank Toad. We will see more of the Bank Toad soon.
Yeah,
I think.
Oh, I mean, it's in World 2, we'll see Bank Toad.
Yeah, I always forget when you're supposed to get the Bank Toad in general.
I usually do it like right before you need the star bits.
Yeah, I know, but I know that optimally you need to do it. Actually, I remember now. You optimally need to do it when a letter arrives, because technically it's shorter to get it. Never mind.
Yeah.
It's just like these 1 second optimizations that are very important, but also depending on your skill level can also not be important. And any percent is not my favorite category in the game. Let's just say that.
For me, it is. Like, I'm like one of the very few Galaxy 2 runners who actually really enjoy any percent. Most runners are like, 242 is obviously more fun, and for shorter categories, 120 or green stars are usually more fun categories. I would say, like, I enjoy this run slightly more than green stars, I would say.
I mean, I don't dislike any percent per se, it's just that I don't run the category very often. I tend to run more the other categories, as I just mentioned.
So yeah, by the way, we're in Bowser Jr.'s Fiery Flotilla. We can skip like everything in this stage. By just jumping on the swamp there, we can skip having to defeat the enemies. I think you have to defeat enemies there to open the door? Or is it a switch? I haven't played this casually in so long. I have no idea what it is you need to do to open the door. Anyway, you can get on top of the wall there, and since this specific planet that we're on has like an enormous gravity field, we can just, from on top of that wall, we can jump close enough to the planet to hit that gravity field and just fall down.
Now, most annoying boss of the game, easy mode.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's like a super early boss, but it's actually kind of technical, because the casual way to do this is like you wait for this boss to go into the ground, and then you'll get kind of those red swollen areas will actually kind of get stuck in the ground that you can hit then. We can actually hit a lot of those things early on in the air by manipulating him around a bit. Yeah, for this final part I always just let him go in, because consistency. There we go.
Consistency is important, guys.
Exactly. Yeah, this game, if you make like a bigger mistake, it can sometimes just lose you a minute or more just by dying at an unfortunate point. But yeah, we're done. We collect the first Grand Star. Doesn't do super much extra. Like, it unlocks the next world, but it's just as good as just being able to go to the next stage. And the only thing is you get a longer cutscene afterwards.
Long enough for a donation?
Oh, for sure!
Alright, then we got $30 from Ernie, saying, "Hope you all keep having fun." And this donation goes towards Spyro's color choice. In Spyro Year of the Dragon, it goes towards the color choice green. And with that, the top 3 are black, green, and pink, all tied at $30. Then we have yellow with 20, blue and red with $10, and the best color choice, purple, currently has $0, which I can't understand at all. So if you want Spyro to have a specific color, get in your donations and put them towards the bid war.
Apparently I'm dropping some frames and I'm trying to fix that mid-run. I mean, there's enough cutscenes to fix that.
Oh, also you forgot that there's 2 cutscenes here, not 1.
Yeah, it takes a while. But yeah, now we're gonna go...
Sorry. And then the second is after the stage, because you get the world map cutscene, right?
Yeah. And yeah, but now we're going into Puzzle Plank. This is probably one of my favorite tracks, music tracks of the game, because it's just so uplifting. It's great.
Banger alert.
I could tell more about the stage, but we could also listen to music. Hard choice we gotta make here. But yeah, anyway, I'll talk a bit more about the stage. So yeah, this entire stage is like fully based on like these wooden puzzles. And like you see like a bunch of the stage is actually just falling apart as we go through it. Usually that doesn't really affect us that much, because we'll be past the sauce anyways before it starts dropping down. But as you saw with that wall, we can actually use the falling wall to get on top of the next wall slightly early. Instead of having to wait for that one section to drop and do wall jumps in between it, we actually just triple jump on top of it. Now, got a nice little sliding puzzle here. Hopefully I can show off the cool thing. Oh, one more chance. Oh god. There we go. Come on. Never mind. No, it was fun. Totally intentional. Like, if you hit it like the puzzle at like a specific spot, you can actually sort of get a double ground pound, which lets him slide 2 parts at once. It's like super random whether it happens or not.
It's actually so random that we have no idea why it happens.
Exactly.
It's one of the few things that will not the game. The games here, like both the Galaxy games, are pretty solid in terms of programming and consistency in general. There's very few things that are not explained or actually there's not a lot of things that break the game in general. It's really hard even just to crash the game. We were mentioning Sunshine before the run started. It's really hard to crash Sunshine, right? Totally doesn't happen during runs sometimes.
Oh yeah, and now like Elias mentioned before, we actually get a little bit of a cutscene here about, look, this is the world map. We're actually going to use it a little bit to, it does let us go to previous worlds much easier, which we're actually going to use later on.
Can I jump in here real quick?
Yes, you can.
Then I would like to remind everyone that ESL Summer Online is benefiting Alzheimerfonden. That is a Swedish national fundraising organization focusing on Alzheimer's disease and other dementia-related diseases. Alzheimerfonden's aim and purpose is to increase fundraising to the benefit of scientific research in order to find a cure for Alzheimer's disease. So all your donations will go towards them, so please keep the donations coming.
So yeah, right now we're in Hightail Falls, and actually Yoshi got some power up in this game as well. We got the Dash Pepper, and you know, we gotta love the Dash Pepper as a speedrunner, because you know, it lets us run super fast. And there's actually one extra thing that's convenient about it. If you jump like right at an edge, when you're in this state, you can see that Yoshi jumps like super high, and that's actually gonna be used right at the end here. Or well, no, later, I mean. There's a different thing about Dash Pepper, which I'll show up in a second. So yeah, right now we're just grabbing this Dash Pepper and we're gonna grab this combat medal. And if you are in Dash Pepper mode and jump off, you just gain a bunch of momentum. And for that, we just skip the entire section. And since my stream is still struggling a bit, I need to quickly restart my stream, so I'm gonna quickly, I don't know what tech is telling me, let me know when timer stop and start is, but so yeah, I guess stop in 3, 2, 1, stop. Tech before I actually start going to the next stage. Just to be sure. We'll lose like sometime, but whatever. Alright, seems like we're online again. Sorry for that, everyone. Like, so weird. Normally my PC is able to stream in these settings, but I don't know what it is today.
The light and internet is doing great, I see.
So yeah, time to get back in the flow here. So this is Cosmic Cove, and there's actually a secret in this one as well, with a Hungry Luma. And the Hungry Luma is gonna need 15 coins, and the very convenient thing that we can do here, like these enemies down here, normally, if you shine your light on them with your Koopa Shell, they normally drop star bits. But if you hit them with the star bits first, they actually drop a coin instead. And that's super convenient for us, because at that point we barely have to go out of the way to grab any of the extra coins.
Just need to kill 2 enemies and then you should be able to get all the needed coins after this row and the one in front of the combat medal.
Yeah, it's not the worst thing to miss because there's like backup coins around. But it's all good. And yeah, even though we're collecting the coins now, we're actually first gonna do the regular stage. We're gonna feed the Hungry Luma at this point. However, if we go back into the stage later, the Hungry Luma will still be fed with the coins, and the launch star will still be there. Overall, movement-wise, it saves a little bit of movement, because we go past this specific planet anyway. It's like, I think it saves like half a second or something. It's like very minimal, but hey, if it happens, it happens. You know?
It's safe. You gotta say the time. You mean minimal every time, so it's time shift.
True. You know, if we can save more frames, the better.
Okay, now I'm gonna be your resident help for the stage. Enter Cosmic Cove Secret.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I have my splits open, and there it just says full caps like Cosmic Cove 1. Because yeah, normally the thing is, whenever I enter a stage, I usually just mash A, because if you're not pointing at the screen and you mash A, it selects the first unselected star and just means not having to point at the screen. However, since we want to go into the secret now, the secret is only accessible in Cosmic Cove 1. However, if we just start mashing A when we enter the stage, we would actually go into Cosmic Cove 2. And Cosmic Cove 2 is like super slow. You don't want to do that star instead. So I made it. I made it into Cosmic Cove 1.
We the boys, we saved 2 minutes.
Hey. I mean, at the point that you enter Cosmic Cove 2, it's still faster to actually leave the stage, go back to the spaceship and re-enter the stage again, than actually do the proper stage, because the other stage is just so slow.
You can probably do it 2 or 3 times before Cosmic Cove 2 becomes fast.
Yeah. Like, just don't do that. Just pay attention at that part, and it's like a free 2-minute time save. But yeah, as you can see, the launch star is already there, and we're actually gonna... one mechanic that came back from Galaxy 1, which isn't as often in this game anymore, but I still don't like it, is bunny catching. Bunny catching is terrible, so I'm actually just gonna play it safe here and hit this switch early. That turns this planet into ice, which lets us ice skate instead of having to run through water. Running through water is slow, and we don't want that. You can... Oh, I didn't actually need it. Like, you can hit the bunnies with starbits early to make them stop running. It does save... Ideally, you want to hit the bunny with like a starbit and grab it in the water state. But overall, if you miss all your starbits, it's like super hard to grab him otherwise. So for safety, just hit the button there and just start ice skating. If you miss all your starbits, you can just ice skate behind it and grab it. And now at this point, we're actually gonna go talk to Banktoad. We mentioned it before, but for like, there's like a bunch of galaxies that unlock with a Hungry Luma in the overworld. And if you go into a different save file and put starbits into Banktoad, you'll actually be able to use it in other files. So for that reason, this is officially the 80% with Banktoad category. We usually don't mention that, but it does help us with unlocking some of these extra stages, because overall a lot of these stages are really fast. Even with the extra cutscene of having to call this Hungry Luma over, feed the starbits, and whatnot, a bunch of these stages are just faster than having to do other stars.
You will see now Honeybloom's secret is one of the shortest stars in the game, at least as far as any percent is concerned, I think.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the fastest star in 90%. In Green Stars it isn't, but that's Green Stars. Green Stars, like, for people who don't know Green Stars, after you collect 120 stars, the Green Stars unlock, which basically plays extra hidden stars in the stage. Some are like put right at the start, some right at the end, and yeah, in just some stages they are placed like right at the start. Those green stars are faster than this specific star, but this is the fastest regular star for sure. Because we just go up here. Once we get to the top of the wall here, there's the star. It's like... Even with unlocking the Hungry Luma, it only takes about 2 minutes, that entire section. And now that we got...
Now. Yeah, we're gonna do the big strats now, Frosty.
Yes, I'm gonna do big strats here. because like there's basically two different routes that you can run for this. The more beginner-friendly route is doing Supermassive Galaxy instead of the next stage that we're gonna do here. Overall, it is a bit slower, but it's Supermassive Galaxy is just a much easier stage. The stage that we're gonna be doing here, Honeybloom, the actually regular mission, it's gonna involve quite a few interesting tricks. The most annoying part is that we're gonna be trying to skip the B power-up, which, as you remember from Galaxy 1, it's like you can fly, but overall it's like super slow. And the hardest thing about it is like, as a B you can land on like flowers and clouds, but Mario by itself can't. However, if you do a jump like within the first 2 frames, I believe, when you land on a cloud you can actually jump off it again. There. I already messed up on the first one, but... Oh, what? That also happened in practice. Mario just turning around for some reason. What? What's happening? Alright, guess we're using B power-up. Never mind! What? This is not going my way today.
Don't worry, this is a pretty hard trick in general to pull off. Especially because in 90% you're supposed to grab this comet medal, and grabbing it whilst nailing a series of 2-frame jumps is not the easiest thing in the world.
And at the
especially on a 60 FPS game.
Yeah, so. And at the same time you you saw those enemies there, you also need to manipulate their movements by shooting star bits at them. It can be kinda tough. It's unfortunate that I was able to pull it off, but we'll still do a few less strats here. You get hit there on purpose just so we can do this next section as regular Mario. Oh, wow. Almost. Oh, we're fine. We're fine. We made it. So that's one way to do it. But yeah,
this particular vines can be done B-less, but there's no point because actually you'll see now you're supposed to land on these round like red balls, and if you don't have the B power up, they just disappear from under you, and you get the B power up at the end. So it's kind of pointless.
Yeah. There's a small little skip we can do here. It's like nothing super major. But we can skip landing on like one flower here. Or just flying up there. And there I grab... Oh, never mind. Oh.
That enemy is always in the way.
Yeah. I tried grabbing that coin on purpose, because if you grab a coin, your flight meter slightly recovers. And if you do that correctly, you can just barely make it with that coin grab there. I just had to maneuver slightly too much to immediately grab that star. Anyway, we're past Honeybloom 1. That could have still gone so much worse, so... It's like... We're still fine. And yeah, with that, we're already at the end of World 2. Like, there's still some other galaxies we're gonna be doing later here, but we're gonna be doing backtracking later on. Because we mentioned before that later on comets will unlock. And there will be some comets in this galaxy here as well that we'll be getting, so... we need to go back anyway to grab fast stars. And routing-wise, it's nice to go to just move on for now.
Do we have time for a quick message?
Yeah, sure.
Alright, then I want to remind everyone who's watching that by donating you can also get eligible to win some awesome prizes. If you donate a total minimum of $30 over the course of the whole marathon, you can win a ViewSonic Elite monitor, and if you donate a total minimum of $50 during the course of the marathon, you can win a Nintendo Switch. So get in those donations to get eligible to win some awesome prizes.
So yeah, Lava Lair, as you can see, has a lot of lava. Who would have expected that?
How's their level with lava?
Yeah, I know. Crazy. And we're actually gonna use the lava to our advantage because we can lava boost. Shout out to lava boost.
Lava boost.
And with lava boost, we can actually skip some sections here and there by just damage boosting, lava boosting through. We're there, instead of having to go on top of the platform, we just go around.
Also, this man kept it calm and cool and collected. He was just inches away from dying. But Mario, that section, you're always on an edge because you can barely make the lava boost generally, so it can be really, really hard.
Yeah, it can be a bit of a tricky jump there. It's obviously easier with Luigi, but at this point...
with Luigi, you just don't go for the wall kick, which makes it as basically as hard as that.
Yeah. Here we grab the Mushroom of Shame, or, well, technically it's called the Life Mushroom, but I call it a lot of people call it the Mushroom of Shame. Just in case that happens. Since normally you get that text box when you grab a life mushroom and get like the little animation of getting the extra life shroom, especially in Galaxy 1, like you kinda don't want to grab life mushrooms at all. However, in this game, since we're gonna use it for lava boosting in a few places, I mean, we'd still get them, but overall, still sticks calling it the Mushroom of Shame. Because, you know, wasting a few seconds grabbing it. Who would want that? And yeah, here's Bowser, and he's enormous. Oh wait, we already knew that.
Also, what is this? You mentioned that we're just gonna beat Bowser, that's 70%, but we're in front of Bowser. Aren't we gonna beat Bowser now?
Yes, oh my god, we're on amazing pace right now. Oh my god, even with some of the issues, we're like on sub 1 hour pace.
World record by about 2 hours and a few minutes.
Yeah. But yeah, there's like... It's beating Bowser, but beating Bowser in the final world. Not this one. This one is... yeah. Just here. But yeah, the idea behind this boss fight is he drops all these comets to the floor, then he punches the planet, and then you can use them to hit him. Usually, to make this... It's not much you can do to speed up this section. Overall, you just want to be close to Bowser after his comet drop attack, because he'll actually just start punching when he's in range. For the second section, he starts breathing fire, and you kind of want to try to manipulate him to a spot where when he hits, there's like a comet super close by, but which you can just immediately jump on. But not so close that he smashes it, because as you saw, he can smash the comets, which is bad. Very occasionally I have it happen that he accidentally hits like all the comets that are on the planet, and then I'm like, oh, that's not good. But yeah, that's Bowser the first time. He's just gonna shrink for now, and then he's gonna... Seems like we defeated him, but there's gonna be like long cutscenes where he talks about, I'll get you next time, Mario. I think it says something like that.
Yeah, so in this game basically tells you that you have already defeated Bowser, but since he's a sore loser, he's not gonna acknowledge it until you get to the last world.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Imagine if he just gave up right at that point.
I mean, it would save him a lot of pain.
Yeah, true.
But the game wouldn't be as long.
Yeah, fair. I mean, I like the length of this category. Yeah, it's a bit of a slower game, but it gives like, you know, we have downtime like this where we can just watch a cutscene, and it's like a great moment to sit back for a moment, drink a bit of water, and just enjoy the great music of the game.
Even though the music's great, can I jump in really quick?
Yeah, of course you can.
Alright, then I want to give a quick kind of shout out to our donation total right now. We're at 19,160. And as there are like about 2.5 hours left on this run, what do you mean, guys? Can we go for 20k? 20k by the end of the run? I'm pretty sure that's doable.
I'm confident.
I'm confident too. And for that, I will hand it over to Nordic Soy, and he will make sure we hit that goal. Thank you.
Thanks so much for reading, Agama.
Indeed, thank you very much, and I'll do my best.
So yeah, now we're heading into World 3, and we actually get to another stage where we can use the Cloud power-up. As before, Cloud power-up is great in this game. It's not as... we won't skip as much as before, but it's still very convenient. And one thing that I didn't mention yet is one particular trick we do with the Cloud. We call them Cloud long jumps. If you make a Cloud and immediately do a long jump afterwards, you actually gain like much more momentum and heights than you would normally. So there, I do a Cloud long jump into that one Cloud there, just so we refill our Clouds again. Just so we can make it all the way up here without having to do that other section. Here. Near, so using the launch star, you can just Cloud long jump over, or regular, hello, where did my momentum go? Oh well. Fine, I guess we'll do it like this then.
The momentum disappeared.
This game is weird sometimes.
Probably the camera change. If you have a momentum in some direction and then you hold a different direction, momentum can just disappear for reasons.
For very weird reasons.
Which probably that's what happened here. You know, just the other direction that was slightly different because of the camera change. Well,
here we'll also go for a little bit of a skip here. We'll just go on top of here instead of going down, having to grab more Clouds. And also great music again. Here, I'm gonna play it safe. I don't want to die here. It's very unforgiving. You can make that cycle, getting that common medal and going up there, but would you really want to see Mario get squashed by me? Just, I've definitely shown that some tricks are just not working today for me. And up next is gonna be the Freezy Flake Galaxy. At first we're gonna go see an old friend. I didn't even mention him. Normally I mention him when I get to that stage. Earlier we saw the Chimp, which is like an amazing chimp. And overall you will see him quite a few times throughout the game. He gives you, like, he's hidden in quite a few stages where he gives you like an extra mini game to play, and he gives you a star for it afterwards. The one we're going for now, Freezy Flake, is... we actually have to do that twice. Once in this stage and once when we get to World 5. It's not a super hard requirement to get, but it can sometimes become a little bit tricky if you really mess up. But you know, we're not gonna mess up. Why would we mess up? But it's...
Also, sorry. An awesome chimp? Ban chimp.
What's wrong with the chimp?
Ban the chimp.
I mean, to be fair, like, he gives a ton of these chimp challenges as well in stages where you just go on the stage and have to defeat, like, enough enemies to score enough points. Those are kind of bad. I like the other challenges, though.
Obviously, very conveniently, you don't do any of those particularly long challenges any percent because it's low. So,
I mean, there's at one point there's one in like World 6, a chimp challenge where you can get the score requirement so easily that you can just take a 1 minute break, just walk away and do other things. That I like that part.
Yeah, which is very convenient for stuff like 602 or other. I just call them marathon runs. Imagine not marathon like a speedrunning marathon, but more like super long runs that require a lot of endurance. So that can be useful in those regards.
More than enough, 630. You only need 500 for this one. Even when I was messing up a bit on the beginning, it's still not too bad to recover from it. The patterns are predetermined, only thing that is like sometimes they're rotated. So, but overall, like, the amount of enemies that appear for each section, that's predetermined. So it's not like it's completely random what's going on there.
If you have particularly bad luck, you'll always be in the worst position for every pattern, but it's just so unlikely. It's almost never gonna happen. And even then, if you have good enough reactions, you can just react to that. So.
Oh wait, we're doing one more in Freezy Flake here. One thing that I didn't mention before, if you re-enter a stage that you've already been into before, you actually skip the intro cutscene. It's like, I mean, it's... I just wanted to mention it. It doesn't add super much, but you know, it saves like a couple seconds. Oh.
It's 13 seconds, that's pretty good. On average, 13 seconds.
Now we actually get to a little bit of an annoying part. We grab this Fire Flower here, and I kind of want to take this Fire Flower pretty far into the stage. If I make it to a specific spot in time, I can skip having to grab an extra Fire Flower, which actually saves quite a bit in the long run. Because we're gonna grab a Comet Medal right over here, and if I do this fast enough, I should be able to break it open. Yeah, there we go.
Nice. It is pretty tight to make. It's a pretty tight cycle.
Yeah,
So that's getting it is very good.
Because for that reason, once we get to this section, we can actually use this specific Fire Flower to just get to the Bowser statue here. And I almost, even hitting that enemy, like, I didn't have super much time left over on the power-up. But it does save us having to grab the extra Fire Flower, which is like on the other side of the Bowser statue, and then breaking the statue.
I think it loses about 20 seconds, both in having to grab the Fire Flower, go back for the Comet Medal, then go up, then go get the other Fire. It's really annoying.
Mm-hmm. So I was happy that I made that one. And look, it's Luigi! At this point, we can't... In certain stages, Luigi will appear now, right at the start of the stage. And if you talk to him, he's like, "Yo, do you want me to help you, brother?" And then you can say yes, you'll switch to Luigi for that stage. And, you know, Luigi is slightly faster, but afterwards, when you collect the star, he's also like, "Here you go, Mario, I found the star. Hope I was good help. See you around." More cutscenes. So that is never worth it to go for it in any percent. But, you know, we get to see Luigi now and then. It's definitely better, brother. Hi, Luigi.
What a lad.
Yeah, this is Haunty Halls. There's like this very this section over here is like on a cycle right when you enter the stage. So you know you need to like really mess up on the beginning part to not make this specific cycle. Can happen. Sometimes these enemies can be a little bit trolly at the start, but overall, it just starts out on that cycle. Once you reach that specific platform there, these platforms only start appearing once you approach them, so this part is important to get to the next section as quickly as you can. So, get my momentum there. We're gonna go for the Comet Medal.
Nice.
Just use the platform to go back.
So at the beginning, I think you can make an even faster cycle, but it is really, really hard.
It's super, super tight. You need to play like flawlessly. Also, Yoshi again. We have these bowl berries which make platforms appear. We don't really need platforms.
Who needs platforms? Apparently, okay.
I don't need platforms.
It almost looked like you needed some, but you didn't.
The other day when I did a run, I was like, you can jump off Yoshi there, which is like slightly faster to grab the star. I barely missed it and I had to do it again. Wasn't gonna let that happen again.
The jumping off of Yoshi sometimes obviously can be faster, but it's very risky because when you're infinite fluttering, obviously you can back it up. You just, alright, I missed the star, I'm gonna flutter again, do some stuff. Sometimes you can back it up due to movement mechanics that are really complicated, but most of the time you can't save it. But if you're jumping off Yoshi, well, Yoshi is your propulsion, so obviously there's no backing that up.
Yeah, it's like, for certain parts I'll go for it, but during like very tricky sections or like very risky sections like that, you know, why go for the half a second time save if you could lose 30? Anyway, Haunty Halls 2, this is the Yahoo level, because you'll just hear Mario continuously scream that, because that's all we're doing in this stage. We're basically just long jumping all over the place. Oh, and sometimes he says we. I like the Yahoos more though. Yahoo! Yahoo!
Don't give me PTSD to the VSG 2018 run, please.
Oh, that's not. It was fun. I've ran this game before, and at one point we had like we made it an incentive that for every long jump we would say Yahoo. Ah, that was a thing.
That was really interesting.
I mean, it was for charity. Just like we're running for charity now. Oh my god, I almost missed that.
That was a good save. Now this level in particular, it's been a bane of mine for quite some time. In particular, the Comet, the camera can tilt in a weird way at the start, and if you're not used to it, it just for me doesn't click. We'll see Haunty Comet, I think.
Yeah.
And it's barely noticeable, but the camera is slightly more tilted at the start, which I think was done to make you see the cosmic clones, which we will see the first soon, I think.
Yeah, that's a few stars away.
Yeah. But it's, to me, I don't know, it's just like something I don't really appreciate, so it's been a bane of mine for a while.
Look, we're gonna feed another hungry Luma. Something that you can do here is like, you need to wait until this stops playing. I'll actually line myself up here with a backflip, because if you time this out correctly, you can see that Mario kind of stays in the air there. After this cutscene stops playing, ideally you want to just land on that platform and immediately go to the rope select screen. It saves that little bit of movement that you have to do. Let's see. Hey, guys, that was fun. Easy every time. Sometimes the Luma can be a little bit of a troll, and just when you do a backflip, you bounce against the Luma and just completely go a different direction. Or you land on the platform before you feed the final star bit, and then you have to call them over again, and that's just slow. Anyway, beat block comment. This entire stage, as you can see, is the platforms will change on the beat, so every field takes it will change to the other one. So this entire stage is basically an enormous cycle that I'm trying to make. With the first part over here, that I want to land on that yellow one. And I should be fast enough to grab this one. Oh. I'm not playing it risky, I missed the checkpoint.
This man doesn't need checkpoints.
I'm fine.
What?
I'm fine. Hey, I noticed that I missed a checkpoint and I was instantly scared. I was like, no, not risking anything.
Now, you may have noticed that he jumped on nothing at some point, because the platform disappeared and he was still able to jump. The platform visually disappears before the collision disappears. So you have a very small frame window after the platform is disappeared, where you can still jump on it. And sometimes, if you activate the jump before, you will see like Mario just long jumps from nothing. But that's what's going on there.
And yeah, I didn't even realize before, comments are appearing. Like, slowly but surely some extra stars will appear here and there. And I'm not gonna do the first comment star just yet, because we're first gonna go to Tall Trunk. Tall Trunk is a very interesting one, because it's like a stage with Yoshi in it, and we only do like a few infinite flutters. It's like, it's crazy. Normally you flutter all over the place.
I mean, here this stage is very well scripted, so you can't get out of the gravity from the planet here.
Yeah,
we're seeing in the start cutscene.
It's very unfortunate, but it lets us do some other interesting things. Instead of getting Yoshi here and using these Blim Fruit, I forgot the name for a second, we're actually gonna try to skip that completely. And for that I have to do like one long jump over there, which is like super tight. So let's second try, still fine. But yeah, instead of getting Yoshi, which is slow, you can get these flame fruits that let him float like super high. Yeah, it's just slow. It's faster than infinite fluttering up, but it's still slow. Right here, we're actually gonna use the only part for infinite flutters where we just go for the comet medal. And then we can just get to this next section over here. Very precise section here. You eat that thingy for later. Just drop all the way down. And then right at the end here, we get rid of Yoshi.
Hi Yoshi. The good old drop Yoshi into a pit. Actually, in this game we're most of the time a bit more generous because, for instance, there Yoshi is not actually gonna drop into a pit, it's just gonna drop around the planet, so...
Yeah, sometimes it can be a bit annoying because sometimes you want Yoshi back for him to despawn. But luckily you have enough time there for it to actually despawn so you can grab a new Yoshi. I mean, it's the same Yoshi, we don't kill Yoshis. Yoshi is a good bud.
Yeah, no Yoshis have been hurt in the production of the speedrun. If that would happen, we would have the RDV back into front of your house, knocking on the door.
Hi Yoshi. Sorry, I might have hurt that Yoshi there right at the end. Like, it's basically as fast just grabbing another flame fruit, but you know, I measured it and I was like, I could just get rid of Yoshi as well and get a very mad RDV.
Alright, so now I'm gonna say a couple of things about comets. The first is that they behave differently from Galaxy 1. In Galaxy 1, you just need to unlock a certain stage, and from then on the comet just is on a cycle, and every few stars it appears. In this game, you need to have beaten the corresponding mission, if I remember correctly, and you also need to have collected enough comet medals. Plus, there are some additional requirements. One of the requirements for a lot of comet stars is this particular star, so this is one of the reasons why it's done as the first comet of the game. Because this is a gate behind which a lot of comets are blocked.
Yeah, because this is like the first comet that unlocks. This is like the introduction to this is what comets can be. And in this case, we just go through this stage, and we're followed by these cosmic clones. And that basically, if you stop moving, they start hitting you. Or if you start moving back. But, you know, we're speedrunners. Why would we stop?
Why would you move backwards?
Exactly. Yeah, overall, it's... Usually these cosmic clones are like, speedrun-wise, one of the easier missions because you're not... You know where you're going, you're not gonna stop to figure out where you have to go or whatever. Also, starbits galore!
Comets and comet levels have always been a good source of star bits, which can be both a blessing in the case of Galaxy 1, because there you don't have a banknote, so you have to collect star bits throughout the game. And a bit of a curse in Galaxy 2, because obviously you want to get rid of them, but there's so many, so meshing intensifies.
Yeah. Like at certain parts, like right at the ending section there, just to make sure you don't accidentally grab a star bit right at the end. I preemptively grab some of the star bits just so I can shoot them away earlier. Like, during certain parts, you'll see me actually do that, grab some extra star bits just so I can shoot them away in time. Anyway, at this point, we're gonna do a little bit of backtracking because we still need a few more stars to unlock the next section. Like, you see these yellow squares on the world map, those are... wait. Wrong one. Doing puzzle plank first. Yeah, at certain parts you see these yellow blocks on the world map. Those have like a star requirement of how many stars you have to get through. And from that point out, the star requirement just goes up by quite a bit, just due to the fact of comets unlocking. The game is really like, hey, this is a thing now. Go back to previous worlds and go back to them again. And look, purple coin missions make a return from Galaxy 1. And luckily, none of them are as slow as Beach Ball purples.
You're talking as if that's the slowest purple coin. Sea Slide comment. Sea Slide Purples would like to have a
Oh yeah, I meant Sea Slide. I got my names mixed up. My bad.
It's okay. They're the same stage, basically.
Yeah, there's water and sand. It's basically the same, right? Anyways, this one, Comet, Cosmic Marios will follow you again, but we go for we just walk with a pattern through here that we don't ever have to cross paths with them at one point.
Do we have time for a brief announcement?
Yeah, sure we do.
Right on. Well, I just want to remind everybody that we are here raising money for Alzheimer's Fonden, which is the Swedish national fundraising organization that focuses on Alzheimer's disease and other dementia-related diseases. The money that we are raising can also be put towards a whole bunch of really amazing incentives that we have coming up. We have smashed pretty much every incentive that we've put out there so far, and we've got a few coming up that I'd like to point out. For instance, we've got a World to the West run coming up, I believe next, either next or one after. You can choose which language that's going to be played in. Right now, Norwegian is winning with $50, and we've got, I think, 8 or 9 other languages you can choose from. So, I'm a little biased, being Nordic soy. I would like to see it in Norwegian. But, yeah, if you want to spoil my day, go out there and get some donations in to mess that up. We've also got Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword coming up, and that's going to have, we're getting close, I should say, to getting the back-in-time, glitch to fight the final boss on the title screen. So that is at $311 out of $500. Let's see if we can't get that met here really quickly. We are just inching closer and closer to 20K. And, it would be awesome to both hit 20K and to meet some of these incentives that we have coming up. Anyway, back to you.
Alright, thank you. Yeah, we're back in Sky Station now, and the added mechanic is it's a speed run, as they like to mention it in game. It's in Japanese, so we can't read it, but it spells it as speed space run. And it's obviously the wrong spelling of speedrun. Everyone knows it's speed dash run, but I'll forgive Nintendo for that. Yeah, speaking about donation incentives, thanks everyone so much who made the donation incentive happen for the Perfect Run. The Perfect Run is an extra mission that unlocks right at the end of the game, which requires all other stars. It's gonna be super fun to show off. It's a really tough stage, and and you have to do all of it without getting hit at all, so that's gonna be fun to show up. I practiced it, it should be fine, and otherwise, yeah.
Should being the key word.
Yeah, but whatever, nothing will go wrong. What possibly can go wrong during the Perfect Run?
A lot can go wrong this stage, but this guy's a mad lad that can do the stage perfectly after playing for 22 hours, so it don't matter, it's gonna be right.
Yeah.
Sure.
So yeah, we're gonna go to Yoshi Star Comet here, which brings back an old classic Mario power-up as well. The Invincibility Star, but in this case, the Rainbow Star. And it lets us kill these enemies here, and most important thing in this stage is it's a little bit annoying to keep your momentum going while you're in Rainbow Mario. As you can see, it takes a while for Mario to get to full speed. So we need to... You sometimes see me walk a little bit extra just to keep that momentum going, instead of just making incredible turns. If you turn too fast, you just instantly go back to regular speed, and obviously I don't want that. Very smooth.
Nice. These stages are very simple. Both these and Flip-Flop and Flash Black Comet are really simple in concept, but they're very, very tricky to move through because there's a lot going on. You have to get the enemies, you have to keep the momentum, you also have to navigate the stage. It's one of the places where you think, well, this is an easy stage, but it isn't.
Yeah,
it is not.
It can be a really tough stage. I've seen beginning runners struggle so much with that stage, just because it can be so weird to keep your momentum going. And if you just lose your speed a couple of times by just running into a wall or something. It just you're still on a time limit. It's really possible to just run out of time there. Right. The cheapest Hungry Luma of them all, only 300 star bits. So we actually need to set up our backflip a little bit slightly faster, but worst case I'll just miss that platform and I'll walk to it. It's like no big deal otherwise, but yeah. If we just land on it, then I said nothing. And now we get to flip swap, and flip swap is very, very interesting concept. Whenever you do a spin, these platforms will change from one side to the other. And we're actually, these platforms, since they actually flip over, we're actually gonna abuse that by using the momentum from the platform changing to our advantage. Because if we do a long jump off of one of those platforms while it's moving, it's gonna give us a ton of momentum. Unless if I do that. First one is the hardest one. Let's try that again. There we go. As you can see, we just long jump over the first floor. Full first section.
This trick is very... How do you put it? This is a very, very scenic trick, I guess. It's one of the... I guess best things to showcase in the game. It's because you jump so long. It's also quite tricky to pull off. It's not super hard, but it is pretty cool in general. It's one of the flashiest things you can do in the game.
Also, once or twice during that stage, I wasn't even fully properly be able to jump. Tell that. I actually did like, if you do a spin and like jump right after instead of getting the slow full spin animation, Mario will actually keep his momentum and do a jump. I use that during certain sections to just flip over some of the platforms just to get the better platforms. It can be a bit annoying because if you mess it up, you just fall down. Because yeah, then you don't have your momentum and the platform disappeared underneath you. Then it's like, oops. It can happen. So we're done backtracking for now. We're gonna go over back to World 3. We have more than enough stars to open this, honestly. I don't even know what the star requirement is for this.
I think it's 30, if I remember correctly.
Let me check. 28.
28, okay.
So we're one over. So no more backtracking to be done now. We can backtrack more later. Like, the later we do backtracking, the better, basically, because more comments will have unlocked, basically. And that's good. Because then we need to go back less often. Did that make sense?
Yeah, What?
Did that make sense? I felt like I was just rambling.
Nah, it's okay. It's just that, just keep in mind that obviously you want to go in and backtrack somewhere where comets are not gonna appear again. Obviously, you would ideally want to backtrack somewhere just once, so that kind of limits our options there. I think the next backtrack will be World 4 because World 3 is the last one. But now the stage is interesting.
We flutter. We flutter a lot. Now there's like a lot of these slow-moving platforms that we have to land on. If you hit switches, they start moving. I activate this one just because I kind of want to get this comet medal over here. I mean, it is doable without, but it's like...
QBF, that's short for question block flutter, is really... it's just a very, very hard strat. So, extremely hard strat.
Yeah.
And extremely risky on top of that, obviously, because you're just fluttering into nothing, so...
Yeah, you have like this one... You can land on that question mark block, which is like super tiny. If you're slightly off with your angle, then you're you missed it. Bye. Anyway, we're to the boss. What's the boss's name again? I forgot.
Mega Hammer, I think?
Yeah, Mega Hammer. I think. I don't know.
Because it's big and it has hammers.
Would make sense. We had Mega Leg before. So yeah, at this point, we have to hit all these weak spots on him. At the moment, to completely break one of his weak spots, we'll actually do an extra animation. And I kind of want to try to avoid that, so I'm gonna break this one here. And while he's in the middle of his next animation, like you can see that he was trying to go for another animation there. If we just break it in between there and go to his back here, we can manipulate 2 bullet bills here, just so we can hit him twice on the back there. As you can see, to hit him on the back, you have to jump over him. You don't want to jump over twice. That's just slow. Now the second phase of this boss is we have to hit the head twice, but instead of just waiting before he attacks us and he becomes closer, you can slightly infinite flutter up to hit him all the way up there.
Yeah, obviously that's a cool strat that you can do there. It can be a bit tricky to flutter at the right height and get the bullet bill to fire in the right direction. Speaking from experience.
There. I actually wanted to jump off Yoshi there just so I could get rid of my star bits. It just didn't fully work the way I wanted. And we just did this Grand Star again. We'll get a longer cutscene. And if you thought like, if infinite flutters, whoa, we gotta wait a while now before we see them again. Well then don't worry! There's more infinite flutters in the next stage because Yoshi shows up again. And it's again a stage which is basically gonna be flutters all over. So that's gonna be good.
Right, now we're entering World 4, which is generally considered the hardest part of the run.
Yeah, World 4, World 5. So, I think both World 4 and 5 like has difficult parts in them. Personally, it kind of depends on the person. Yeah, for me it's World 5 that I usually struggle a bit more, but I know people as well struggle with World 4. Both of them are not easy worlds.
And obviously, to add on that means that this is going to be the section where you see the most, the hardest skips, obviously, so. Starting with which, Sweet Mystery 1 is not particularly hard, just remember to get the common medal.
Oh, I always get it. Why wouldn't I get it?
Because it's a bit out of the way. It's one of the easiest ones to forget.
Yeah.
I guess that and Shiverburn.
Yeah, like, with the angles that I'll be going for, it's like actually kind of hard to forget the common medal because otherwise I wouldn't know where to land.
Okay, you're going. Yeah, I don't go for the flutter.
Yeah. Like for this full stage, I think I'll be walking for like 3 seconds or something, and the rest is flutters. Well, maybe a bit more actually. Anyway, so yeah, Sweet Mystery. We actually get to see the Bulberry in action now. Earlier we skipped it, but once you eat the Bulberry, platforms will appear around Yoshi that normally you couldn't see before. It's not like... If you don't have the Bulberry, you can't land on them either, so you actually need to get the Bulberry if you wanna land on the platforms. So here, I'm really gonna flutter all the way. That's actually a bit of a bad angle. Oh, leave me alone, leave me alone! Okay. Didn't get the proper angle there that I wanted. But yeah, as you can see, the common medal is a bit out of his way, but overall... Oh.
Fluttering away from platforms that are moving is extremely weird because you get the momentum from the platform and it can be a bit weird in general to set up.
Oh boy. Oh boy. I can save this. There we go. This part is very, very tricky because, well, I mean, first of all, you gotta do some interesting flutters. But the thing is as well, since the game doesn't really want you to go to that final planet like that, there's like not a lot of death zones there. If you actually drop down there, you actually fall all the way down, hit some invisible flooring, and you actually have to long jump for like 20 seconds towards a dead zone, just so you can retry that. So yeah, you know, I'd rather not fall down there.
Yeah, there are areas where the game is like, there's no way they would get here, so we're not gonna put a death plane here, right? Obviously. It's quite interesting. It's quite interesting to see at least once. Like, he sees this person like long jumping and nothing, and it's like, what the hell's going on?
It would be funny to show, but you know, we're going fast.
It's also slow. It's also slow.
Yeah. Speaking about fast, Flipsville 1, it's like we don't do anything in this stage the intentional way. Well, okay, we do a few things. So yeah, the bunch of things in the stage are gonna be these crates that once you go through them, they change gravity the other way around. Overall, it's slow because you can jump around walls like that. You can jump to the next planet like this. Because at this point it's like, yeah, invisible walls. Why do that? Same here.
Not the big one.
I think that's fine. We actually use the momentum from sliding off the roof just to get a good angle here. Yeah, there we go.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, and like that.
Level deleted.
Yeah, basically the entire stage, you do nothing of it. Even in other categories for green stars, there's even more skips that you can do in that stage. Like, none of them are useful 90%, but green stars shows off with quite a few more interesting ones as well. Also, this boss, super easy. Just when it goes try to shoot fireballs at you, just go stand under its head, and you can just hit him. Or, sorry, it's Queen something, I believe.
Yeah, in general, the stage, the difference between a player playing casually and a speedrunner is insane. It's one of those places where it's completely broken. There's a lot of super hard tricks. It's just insane to see somebody playing it at a high level. Just whoa. What? The good part about this is the combat medal is also exactly in the way of the first long jump. So yeah, sure, I'll grab it on the way. Nice, thank you very much. Yeah. I'll take it.
There's like some of those combat medals in speedrun wise, of course, that are so hard to miss. But even casually, that I think like, how could you ever miss this? For example, in Slipsand, it's like right on your path. It's not even they're not even trying to hide it. It's like, yeah, there it is. Go grab it. Up next, we're gonna go to Flipsville 2, and this drill power-up is gonna make a comeback. Which, not a big fan of the drill power-up. This is slow. But luckily we can skip it in a few instances at the first section of this stage. Because we first need to get, well, you'll see in the intro cutscene here, at the end, wait, we first need to get to like this section with the pipe, and you can see that we need to go to this like 2D section here. For this first section, luckily we can skip all the drill power-ups. For the second section, we can't, because, yeah, we just can't. Unless we would be able to clip through some walls or something. But the walls are so thick that I doubt you can do that. Also, shout out to Captain Toad who was standing there.
Clip for walls? What do you mean? This is not Super Mario Sunshine?
No. Super Mario Sunshine. So yeah, right over here, I'm actually gonna abuse grabbing that question mark coin. If you grab that coin during the cutscene, during the moment that the gravity would actually switch, the gravity switch will actually not happen. And that actually puts us on a nicer cycle here to get to the end, even with the few extra seconds that it loses of watching the little cutscene.
This is one good example of the small technical things that you might not catch in the first glance. When you see a run, it's like, wait, why was it a thing? But yeah. It's small things like this generally that tend to make the difference between a runner that's expert in the game and somebody just starting to run. It's sometimes stuff can be counterintuitive in games. Now, I think we're adding to Sweet Mystery with all its purple coins.
Yes, and oh my god, Sweet Mystery Comet is like one of those other few Yoshi stages where we're not gonna use infinite flutters. It's like crazy. But yeah, overall, I really enjoy this stage because if you execute this smoothly, it just looks so satisfying. I always have this when I do this myself or I watch other runners do this. It always just looks so nice when you see good movement in this one.
So hey guys, we got time for a quick little announcement.
Yeah, sure.
All right. So, we are, a little less than 2 hours away from the end of this run. And, coming up soon, we do have that Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword run that has an incentive that hasn't yet been met, right? We're $311 out of $500 to do the demise back in time. Well, I'm here to sweeten the deal on that one. If we manage to hit that donation goal during this run, Nordic Soy is going to turn back into Nordic Mario. And I'll be voicing, my best Charles Martinelli for the rest of the run. So you hit that goal, and I will go into character as best I can. If you were here for ESA Together, I may have done a little over-the-top sing-along. So, yeah, let's see if we can't get that met.
Oh my god, yes, I want to hear that. Please, make it happen.
Yahoo!
Yeah, as you can see, purple coins, just smoothly using Yoshi to walk through all the platforms. Gotta wait for the cycle here. But I think that's the cycle that I normally get. Overall, it was a very smooth stage. Bye, Yoshi.
There's just a lot of movement involved in the stages, but now we're heading to Flipsand Comet, which is again a bunch of coins, and then Chompworks 1.
Yes, after that it's Chompworks.
So Chompworks is one of the, I guess, most aesthetically pleasing places in the game, I think. It's really cool.
It looks really cool, but a lot of it is like not very fun. I mean, basically Chompworks 1 is an auto-scroller, and Chompworks 2 has the worst power-up in the game ever. So...
I mean, you can skip it, technically.
Yeah, but let's not. It's so much slower.
What do you mean? Skipping it is actually faster, it's just super hard. With Mario, at least.
Fine. But with how often I would probably mess it up, it's probably faster for me to just go for it.
Yeah. The end of the stage... you can actually do the end of the stage without spring power up. Well, you'll see the stage itself. It can be done without the spring power up, but it's just so hard with Mario in particular because Mario doesn't have the jump height that Luigi does, so it can be extremely tricky to do.
So yeah, we're back in this little section over here. Ooh, I missed the purple there. That's kind of bad. Oh! Okay. Oh! I thought I could make that. Alright, yeah, the purple coin mission is definitely quite a bit harder than the original one. Because, yeah, you need to grab so much more stuff in a lot of these little areas. You of course want to make it on a very specific cycle, because going faster is... making cycles is better. That's... Oh. And then I missed another cycle there. If you go fast enough, you can immediately go to the right there, but... I was greedy. I wanted to grab the 2 purple coins in the middle already. Yeah, we go a very specific route here because... Okay. Oh my god, wait. Okay. Luckily, one very convenient thing of the drill power-up is... once you are in drill mode, your hitbox becomes so much larger that you can actually grab much more purple coins that seemingly seem out of reach.
Yeah, your hitbox is super large. Can be used also in other occasions to grab. I know that there's one occasion in which in Green Stars you can grab a star using the drill power up, just because the hitbox is so massive.
Yeah. So
it's really interesting to see this kind of thing. I don't know why that's the case, but that works.
If it works, it works. Speaking about works, we're heading to Chompworks. Flawless transition. Yeah, the idea behind Chompworks 1 is like that these giant chain chomps will be rolling around and you need to maneuver them to the end just to unlock the launch star or unlock the star. overall, as you can see, the jumps there are... need to go down that little slide thingy inside the hole there. Overall, I would say, like, not a lot going on in this stage. So if the donation reader just wants to read anything about what... Also, don't forget the comment button. If you want to read anything, that would be great.
Well, it seems that people are heeding the call of Nordic Mario because we've got $50 from Ananas. Says, come on, guys, we've never been closer to 20K. If everyone watching pitches in with a cent, we'll easily pass it. It's for a great cause, after all. So we have another $50 from Sturk. I believe is how you would pronounce that. Sturk. It says, need that spicy soy Mario. And we've got $5 from our very own Floha saying, can't resist the wonderful Nordic soy as Mario. Donation goes, of course, towards the Skyward Sword Run for beating Demise and Back in Time. Also, good luck to my boy Frosty. And with that, we are now, looks like, $83 away from making that happen. So, yeah, you're almost there, guys. We'll have some Mario soon.
Mario. Okay, as you can see, we're just trying to get the change jumps towards the end here, and kind of want to be as close to the launch star right when it spawns. That's most of the things you can do. Now, this next section, it's not a regular jump, it's a golden jump that we actually have to get towards the end. Unfortunately, you can't make this cycle, whatever you do, of getting that chain jump. However, if you play in two-player mode, which is the thing in this game, you can actually stop the golden chain jump with the second player, and then you can make that cycle. It's one of the very few instances that why two-player would be faster, but just to have a second player controller. I mean, some people I know are able to play with two controllers and do sort of things with it. I can't even properly hold two controllers at once, it's awful. Anyway, I should be shooting star bits. Oops.
I should be shooting star bits, collects other star bits.
Whatever.
What a man.
I was fast enough.
Also, the fact that it spawned a star. I wonder, what could the fact that it's golden possibly mean?
I thought there was going to be a coin in there. I mean,
Yeah,
coins are golden. Stars are not technically made out of gold, right? They're made out of power. That's why they're called power stars.
Alright, so then for Chompworks 2, really interesting stage.
Chompworks 2 is... I mean, the idea is fun. I only wish that the power-up they want you to use was better. I mean, casually it's fine, but speedrun-wise it's bad.
Maybe I have a much higher opinion of it because I don't need to use the power-up in the category that I usually run in this game, so...
Fair enough, and green stars... Wait, you do, right? You need to get it for Green Stars 3 in Chompworks 2.
You don't.
Oh, right, of course. Other threats. But anyway, over there is Spring Power-Up. Spring Power-Up is bad. You just... I don't know what else you need to know. It's slow, it's annoying. And we can skip those parts without it anyway by doing, like, wall jumps and whatnot. Or, you know, in case of this part where they want you to use the spring to go over the chain jump, you can just go around.
Spring power-up is just the worst. I think it's the worst power-up in power-up history because they're not even they're trying to sell it to you as a power-up, but the truth is, as you will see now, you can't do anything. You can only just jump. There's like more higher than a triple jump, slightly, and that's it. And for the rest of the time, you're forced to bounce around, and that's no.
And stuff like that can happen, which is oh my god, please. Oh my god, please. See, this is why the spring power-up is the worst thing there ever is.
Because it's not a power-up. If anybody tries to tell you otherwise, it's not a power-up. It's straight up a debuff.
It's a power-down.
See, this section can technically be made without the power-up, but it's just really so tight with Mario that's really
It's not
extremely
worth
hard
it.
to pull off.
At least I would say it's not worth it. Even if you have to... Well, I mean, at this point, with how much I struggled with it, maybe it was worth it. I just made some extra mistakes to show everyone how bad the spring power up was. Just need to make sure that people know.
Yeah, that will just be you're just putting on an ad like spring power up bad.
Also, like, it's don't even realize it, but sometimes you just get sent inside the starship like that. Usually that's after a stage where you just used a specific power up. So as you can earlier, we got it after a cloud stage, I guess. And as you can see, it's a little bit of extra movement that you have to do due to that. However, with how we route this, we actually get one instance where we first get sent inside, but then actually get warped to the top because we get a ladder right afterwards. And, you know, that saves us some movement. Anyway, Starshine Beach. If you like Sunshine, then you'll probably like this stage. If you don't like Sunshine, then you won't like this stage. Because, you know, it has a ton of Sunshine elements. It has, like, Piantas, it has Yoshi, it has Chucksters in the next one. It's... Overall, the stage can be kind of tricky because, well, one of the most annoying parts is a specific infinite flutter I want to make, which is a bit of an annoying angle because you gotta deal with a continuously moving camera, which is a bit annoying, but I think this will be fine. Yeah, that seems fine. Definitely want to flutter all the way up to the tower here. We're fine.
Nothing happened. Perfectly fine.
Oh god. Please. Please. Oh my god. If you stay off Yoshi for too long, he despawns. And I definitely didn't want to grab another Yoshi. But yeah, okay. That flutter is just a bit tricky due to the moving camera. It seems at first like always you're gonna miss it, but then you realize like, oh right, the camera moves and it's fine. And we're gonna try to use the momentum from jumping off Yoshi again to get this final silver star here. And with that, we're just shooting into the air. And even though the star spawns like all the way over there, there's one thing we still need to do in this stage, which is the comet medal, which is luckily right down here. Almost like this is routed out.
This is, I guess this is very similar to like Seaside in Odyssey. Like all the caves and the secrets. Like, this is just kind of a test run for that.
Yeah.
Overall, Starshine Beach is one of the. It's a stage that can be extremely tricky, again for beginners because of Starshine Beach 1. I mean, all this weird flutters. You can technically flutter to the second section with the where you use the flowers for Yoshi to grapple on, and then there is Starshine Beach 2, which is a really tough level.
Yes.
Which you'll see in a second.
Yeah, like, I mean, I can explain a little bit about what we have to do here. Like, the idea behind the stage is, like, we need to find a cloud power-up, which, first of all, we gotta swim all the way to the bottom of the ocean, where we can actually get into that tower in the back. Like, we saw it earlier, the one that looks like a mushroom. Well, we're supposed to go in the water there, go swim all the way up, then a cloud power-up unlocks, which we can get, and then we use a lily pad to get to that tower where the star is, because if you touch the water as cloud power up, you lose it. Use the clouds to make it up the tower, and there's the star. We're not gonna do any of that. But even me describing it made it sound like it was awful to do and whatnot, and we don't want that. Luckily for us, there is this one Chuckster over here, which is gonna help us a ton. He throws you up mostly, but he can barely get you close enough towards the tower. Kinda gotta wait here a little bit for this cloud to be in a proper spot, because we want to land on this cloud, and the cloud you can only, as mentioned before, you only have like a few frames to actually do a jump there. Because if you don't jump, you just drop down again and have to do it again. You can actually more properly manipulate your camera, but camera sometimes can get a bit stuck. That's what happened there. And it can manipulate how the clouds move around the tower, because the clouds only move when they're on screen. Unfortunately, camera got stuck, so they kind of moved a bit further than I was hoping for. But, oh well, still so much better than swimming the regular way of that stage, because that's so tedious.
That particular trick has there's a lot of elements in it that can go wrong. You can get the wrong long jump angle into the shockster. You can spin at the wrong time, and you can miss the cloud jump, and you can miss the camera orientation. And all of these things combined, if you're starting to run this game, it's not uncommon to see people trying that for 10 minutes and failing. So
yeah,
it is pretty tricky to pull off. Shoutouts to this man for pulling it off first try.
You're welcome. Anyway, we're back to Chompworks, and we're back to this section again. It's mostly the same, only this part, you know, Cosmic Clones are gonna be following us. And luckily, since cycles are different during the comet, we can actually make this first cycle, so we don't have to wait a super long time. But yeah, this is probably, technically speaking, the hardest Cosmic Mario. Well, not really, but it's a little bit more of an annoying Cosmic Mario because, you know, you gotta wait on these platforms. And if you wait for too long, then these Cosmic Marios are gonna hit you. So just to make sure that we don't get hit, but don't get them moving all over the place, we're just gonna be crouching here for a while. Just to make sure that they're all nicely lined up there.
The crouching tip is one thing that if you have played the game and you have had trouble with this, you're like, oh right, and then you see like somebody just crouching and making it look super easy, and you're like, oh come on, what didn't I think about it?
Yeah.
It is that kind of stuff. It's really cool to see.
So yeah, with Chompworks out of the way, with the comment out of the way, we're actually gonna go to the Bowser stage, Gravity Gauntlet. And this is a very interesting stage as well. At first I'm gonna try to go for a specific skip called Behind the Castle. It's a specific lava boost where you go behind the castle. Who would have thought that? However, it can be a little bit annoying. There is a different lava boost you can do in this stage, which is, if you wouldn't need to get the Comet Medal, it would be faster. However, since we want to get the Comet Medal, the Behind the Castle trick is faster than the other one. Therefore, I'm gonna try to go for that skip first, but if I failed once, I'll just go for the other skip, because I would need to walk back for the live stream anyway. So, you know, I'm confident. I'm sure I can make this trick.
This stage in particular is busted, completely busted. Even if we don't have to see the second skip, which it will happen. Will happen anyways, because we're gonna do the Comet Medal in this stage as well, in which we would ideally see the first skip for the first time. Sorry, are gonna be seeing BTC.
Oh yeah, nope.
Or not.
All right, we're gonna do the other skip then, because at this point I will need to grab a coin, and you know, at this point I'm just gonna walk over here. So we're just gonna do a skip over here then. Because we get momentum from lava boosting, and it just makes us able to land all the way into this next section over here.
This skip is one of the, again, like, generally when people for the first time see it, like, how was this discovered? How was this a thing?
I'm a bit scared. Grab the coin. Okay.
Coin of shame.
I mean, I have coins anyway. Like, at the moment, once you grab one coin, you'll get the text box at the end of the stage anyway. At that point, it's like, yeah, whatever. So yeah, unfortunately I wasn't able to get behind the castle there. What you can do there is actually lava boost all the way behind the castle. It takes like 5 lava boosts and you can barely get into that one section over there where we just landed. It's a bit tricky. Luckily, instead of just trying to go for it anyway, for it again, I just went for the consistent one, because overall, just trying that over and over is, no one's gonna like that.
Yeah, honestly, if you see behind the castle, it's ironically less impressive than seeing the Comet lava boost generally. But it is harder. BTC is much harder than it.
It's super hard in comparison to the other one that we do. Anyway, we're back to Bowser again. He basically does the same thing as before, only this time around some more damaging things will appear, like these lasers that will go around the planet. One very, very cool thing that we can do here is we can actually go for a cycle skip here. Normally, as you saw, Bowser will do 2 punches after each cycle. If we actually delay this hit over here, we'll actually hit him while he's punching, basically, and I will just let him skip towards to his next attacks, which is the comets again. And, you know, oh god. I do the cycle skip and then I mess up. Anyway, pretend that didn't happen. So, you know, we did the cycle skip, he immediately drew down his comets, and that way we can just instantly let him attack again and go into the next phase here. During the second phase, you kind of don't want to do that one trick for skipping an attack, because he'll only do 1 punch instead of 2. So at that point, because he changes to his fire-breathing attack, which leaves flames now. Oh boy, I'm actually gonna... I'm playing it safe. Thought he was gonna hit both there. Yeah, if you would do it during that phase, he would skip dropping the comets. And, you know, as you can see that the fire-breathing attack is like super, super slow. Yeah, we don't want to go through another cycle on this phase. I'd rather go through an extra cycle on the first phase than on the second one. What? That wasn't good enough. Alright, quickly go through this one. Luckily that was the final hit.
Saves in speedrunning.
Well, do we have time for a donation or two?
Yeah, oh, for sure. We get a bunch of cutscenes now. You're fine.
Good, because we've got a really long one and we've got a really short one. So I'll start with the short one. We've got $50 from Anonymous. Just says less than 3. Let's get to 20K, and we love you too. So thank you so much for that. And of course, that's going towards our Zelda incentive. And then we also have $5 from our very own Mod, who says, I'm terribly not sorry for this awful joke in Spanish, Nordic, but the current bonus incentive and your username just asked for it. Soy Nordic? No, soy Mario. Money, of course, goes to beating Demise and Back in Time. That glitch always made my head hurt, and I want to hurt it even more today by defeating Demise while on the title screen. And then we've also got another $5 from our very own Patty2 Plays. No comment, but of course you know where that's going. Where it's going back in time. So we are now, what are we? I think we are $24. Somebody's going to make that happen.
Oh, they better. Oh yeah, thanks everyone so much for all the donations. You're all great. Everyone, is hearts to everyone in chat, and donators, and volunteers, donation readers, techs, everyone, organizers, everyone who makes this happen. It's super great to be running for ESA. I'm super thankful that I'm able to show off this game. But yeah, let's talk about the game, because there were cutscenes, it's nothing much was going on. But at this point, we unlock World 5, but we're actually just immediately gonna leave, because we're gonna do quite a few backtrack stars. We're gonna actually go to a galaxy that we skipped earlier on, which has one medium star and one fast star. Wait, no, actually, hang on.
Whilst you're thinking about it, I'm gonna make, since we missed the cutscene, honestly, that makes me feel bad, and I'm gonna do a sum up of the cutscene.
Alright.
Bowser is a sore loser, round 2. Thanks for coming to my cutscene sum up.
Thank you. I was... So yeah, we're in Boulder Bowl here, and we're actually gonna see the Boulder power up, finally. Normally, occasionally you would go here like super early in your playthrough, but now's the first time we're actually gonna go here. I'm actually gonna use the Starbits to grab here to hit these enemies with a Starbit. That way I just have to run into them instead of having to jump on them or spin into them. No, that's slow. And the only reason we grab the Boulder power up there is so we can get that Comet Medal. Because we can actually do this next section without the Boulder power up. It actually is easier without the Boulder power up, because you get a proper spin instead of turning into Boulder mode. Actually, I'll line this up. Jump left, spin at the right timing, and you'll just jump to this next planet here. The skip
the skip is pretty hard. Without the boulder, which you'll see for later, is free. You can literally boot up the game if you have it at home, just play it, try the long jump spin at the right timing, you're done, you get it. But with the boulder, it's just a very, very tricky jump, and yeah.
Yeah, it's like pretty tight. I usually take my time to set it up because, you know, I mean, whenever I'm on a bad run, I just try to YOLO the jumps, and sometimes it works, and I'm like super happy. But oh god, I forgot what I was doing. Oops, I messed up this boss fight a little bit. It's fine. Let him do that. Because you kind of don't want him to go into that rolling attack. So I'm actually just gonna roll towards the back of him while he's approaching us. Because at that point he doesn't go into his rolling attack, and it's... As you can see, he'll trip quite a bit. He'll take a bit to actually trip, and it's annoying and slow, and we don't want that. I was just not paying attention during that first attack, and I was like, I'll just stand here and be like, wait. It's not what you're supposed to do. Oh yeah, with that, we'll get the Boulder Bowl 1 star, and normally, after Boulder Bowl 1, you get sent inside the spaceship, because we just use the stage with the Boulder Bowl power-up, and now it's nice on display over here, but since we just beaten Boulder Bowl 1, and we're already so far in the game, we're actually immediately gonna unlock the ladder for Boulder Bowl 1. Don't know the exact requirement, but I know since we're so far, it just unlocks now. So Toad will tell us, hey, like, look, we have a ladder. And that way, we don't have to walk out of there, and we're just right on top of here. Nice little routing. And we're immediately gonna do that because, you know, we're right there. And for the Boulder Bowl ladder, you get a letter from a robot like, hey, can you help me out here? I need you for something. What he actually wants is, he wants you to lure a Goomba over to him. But before we get there, as you can see now, we're gonna do the skip again, but without the Boulder power-up. I'm just gonna... at that point, I don't even need to set up a good spot there, I just run and go. Yeah, we're gonna want to take this Goomba over to this robot guy. We're actually gonna kind of force him against the wall there a bit, just so he doesn't run too far and run under that chain jump there. And that's... since it's like such almost straightforward stage, you always make that very convenient cycle of avoiding the rolling enemies and boulders. Rolling jumps and the rolling boulders. Yeah.
You actually have 2 tries. If your Goomba gets murdered in cold blood by the rolling chain chomp, you can just get another one. And the other thing I want to mention here is that there's a well-known softlock in this level, and you can completely softlock the game. Yours truly is totally not known for triggering the softlock at the worst possible times. Let's just say that I lost rounds to that, and it still hurts my soul.
Oh, feels bad, man.
Yeah, it's just very funny when it happens because the game just stops and there's nothing you can do. It's just like stop with a weird sound, and that's it. You love to see it, but you hate to see it if you're the one that's affected by it, obviously.
I mean, when you watch it, you're gonna be like, oh, like you feel very sorry for the runner, and then, but at the same time, it's still, yeah, it's.
Trust me, you can say it. You can't. You don't have to be a nice person all the time. It's funny.
But I am a nice person. I do feel bad when I see it happen. Don't try to talk me into making myself think of not a nice person.
Aww. I was just wanting you to not feel the guilt.
Aww. That's nice of you as well. You're a nice person as well.
Oh no, he reverse Uno'd me.
Haha! Gotcha. Oh.
Gotcha, I'm about to yeet off the cliff.
Oh, but I mean, that was totally intentional. Did anything go wrong there? Don't think so.
No.
But yeah, I didn't mention it the first time we walked here. We actually go through the harder part there, just so we can get an extra dash pepper there. Just so we have the dash pepper for this first section here, because no, we're going fast. Going fast is nice. And instead of going for the flutter here to go towards the end, we don't need the comet medal this time around, so we can actually go for a slightly faster route here. Because if you use the dash pepper up here and jump at the right timing, you just gain so much momentum, and you can just jump right to the end section.
Oh, that was a pretty nice gold. You don't see the splits, but I do, and that's whoa. Nice.
I mean, I mentioned it before with the when we do Honeybloom 1 instead of Supermassive. I haven't ran with the Honeybloom route super often yet, so some of these gold splits are just bad. Don't mention it. We're talking about Boulder Bowl Comet, which can actually be kind of rough sometimes. I sometimes have it that I almost mess this up. Because for this particular comet, we need to... It's a new kind of comet. We have to defeat 30... Well, we saw it. It's new for Galaxy 2, but we saw it earlier. We need to defeat 30 of these crabs within 50 seconds, or is it 60? One of the two.
60.
60.
You lose a couple because you need to enter the stage first.
Yeah. But overall, of course you could just spin against their backs, but you're never gonna make it in time. Because you've gotta use the boulder power-up, and since these crabs walk around pretty randomly, it can sometimes be a bit tricky to line up your rolls. Sometimes you just roll for a while and just not hit anything.
Sometimes you hit so many that the game actually starts lagging.
like that. Yeah. Biggest thing about this one is that you gotta be able to react fast to where the crabs are. Luckily, you can kinda see through the planet, and that can help you with figuring out where the final ones are, which is super convenient. I was looking for the boulder power-up. I get so disoriented during this stage.
Now, there is a particular trick that you can do, and that's what makes it hard to people who are newcomers to the game or just casual players. You can actually cancel the power-up. So once you start the roll with the power-up, you can just jump, and if you press Z while you're in the air, Mario comes out of the boulder.
Yeah.
And that's something that's not very well known, which obviously you can figure out if you're missing only one and you're like 5 seconds left and you miss your roll. If you know it, you can just cancel it and retry and you're gonna make it, but if you don't, you're gonna miss it. And that's a useful piece of tech if you ever want to play the game.
Yeah. We're here to give you these very useful tips even on casual play. Because, yeah, there's just a bunch of things in this game that is like gonna make your life so much easier at certain parts. So yeah, off to Fiery Flotilla, final part of our backtracking. It's basically the same boss as before. This time we're on a timer. We need to do it within 2 minutes. Let's hope we can make it. It's gonna be very, very tight. Not really, no.
You didn't have to say it, you're in the joke.
Oh. Just wanted to make sure that people knew I was joking. Hang on, actually, I got the fast attack there, where he immediately attacks you after the second hit. That makes that first phase slightly faster. I gotta talk about something, during this same boss fight.
This is really a super hard timer to make.
Oh
yeah, you could have mentioned that with Mario, the boss is really annoying. Simply because it moves fast. With Luigi you can just outrun it, but with Mario you cannot, because as you mentioned, Mario is slightly slower, so... Nice.
I backed it. But yeah, as Mario indeed, you can't just outrun it, you actually need to make turns and avoid it, and it can sometimes be a bit tricky. Because his hitbox can sometimes be like, sometimes you don't get hit by his mouth at all, and sometimes you just get hit from like so far away, and it's like... Yeah, now we're done with backtracking. We can finally go into World 5, and yeah, World 5 has very few tricky stages as well.
If I remember my route correctly, this is the last backtracking before the final one, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Pretty sure. Yeah, it should be.
I haven't ran any percent in a while, so my memory's a bit rusty on that.
You should though. 80% is so much fun. See how much? See? Do you see how fun this run is?
I can't. I know I can't describe my PB, but I just need to get on it. But you know, you're just trying to make me not focus on the race we have in 2 weeks and a half. So you reveal your true colors.
No, I honestly think 80% is a really fun category. And yeah. Anyway, Space Storm. Sorry, I need to pay attention a little bit during this stage because, as you can see, there's like a ton of these moving platforms. There's like electric fences all over the place. It's trying to avoid all of them, trying to make specific cycles. Didn't make it. So actually, gotta wait for a slower cycle here then. Need to get that common medal, and you can make it with the previous platform there. Oh, I even missed that platform. But super tricky. If you even mess up your movement slightly or get hit or whatever, you have to wait that extra cycle for the next platform. Now we get to the part where you lure a bomb over. Very cool. There's actually also a ladder in this stage to lure an enemy. That's gonna be at the next section. We don't do that in any percent though, because the ladder doesn't unlock in time. And overall, it's a slow stage anyway.
It's also slow, and it's also painfully hard sometimes. The fastest way is just to lure him over this like bridge. It's a very narrow bridge that you just crossed. But it can be really annoying to do that. So.
Please sense of heart, don't mess up on this part.
Yeah, you're on the cycle actually, you can see all the projectiles shot there.
Good enough.
It was good enough.
Yeah. I mean, overall, just going faster, it doesn't matter super much if you get it there. Only, of course, if you're at 1 health, of course. Then you should be careful. But it gives you, if you take that pad like above, you can avoid so many of the things shooting at you anyway.
Hey guys, I just want to do a quick shout out. We're still $24 away from meeting that incentive, and $24 away from Nordic Mario. Come on, somebody's got it. Somebody's gonna make that donation and make me embarrass myself for the rest of this run.
I want to hear that. Come on, chat. Come on, viewers. You've got this. Anyway, up next is Space Storm 2, and the overall kind of mechanic in this specific mission is that everything moves super fast, but if you hit one of those buttons, time slows down by a lot, and then you can maneuver the way you want. Well,
but do you need the time to slow down?
No, we actually don't need that, so actually you can. First of all, there's like pretty big skip over here where you can just go on top of the wall here, which already skips this entire section here. And overall, you don't really need it, especially since there's only one section where it kind of matters. Oh, fine, I'll press this once, just to show it off what happens.
Sure.
Yeah, actually, when I landed on the button, I got a little bit of the bouncy animation, and I backflipped I jumped at such a timing that I got the momentum from that going up, and that kind of messed me up there on my jump.
I mean, generally it's a good thing, but too much of a good thing can be a bad thing.
Exactly. If you're not expecting it, then it's kind of bad. Yeah, and up next is gonna be Shiverburn. Shiverburn has one pretty difficult trick in it, but we're not gonna do that just yet, because we're first gonna do the secret. Because, it's like calm before the storm, before you gotta do a trick.
This secret is a big meme, in my opinion. One, because of what it consists of, and two, because of its location. Because you'll see, it's not very secret.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit out of the way.
No, okay, but it's just the concept of it. you'll see in a minute. Of course, there's gonna be like a skip to get to it because there's a cloud flower here, and whenever there's a cloud flower, there's crazy jumps, obviously.
Don't cycle it.
So, it is very inconspicuous. Like, there's a pipe in the middle of a sea of lava. Sure. Sure.
Sure. And then we get to like this icy thing here. Totally makes sense. Yeah,
The chimp.
The chimp. Gotta love the chimp. So yeah. Gonna do this challenge again. Chat, how many points do you think I'll score? Guess now. I won't. I don't see chat, but
I'm gonna go for the obvious guess.
what is that?
690, obviously. That's the obvious guess.
I thought you were gonna say 420, and I would be mad if you want me to feel this.
Nah.
Oh god. We're fine.
He almost failed it.
I actually wanted to
Won a lot.
stop at 600, but then I missed that one golden one and I actually got scared.
Look, everybody guessed higher. Yeah, you betrayed the faith of the chat.
I'm
You're
sorry.
such an evil person.
No.
See, you're evil. I told you.
I'm not evil. I do this all the time when I run this game, that I just stop at 600. It's not like it was unpredictable that I was gonna do it. Anyway, now we actually get to the harder part, because there's actually a few difficult parts about this thing coming up. First of all, we're gonna go for a skip to skip a full planet, which we're gonna use the cloud power up for, and we actually have to use, whenever you create a cloud, it expands a little bit, and that expansion, you can use that momentum of it expanding to actually long jump a bit further. We actually need to use that for this section, otherwise we don't make it. So let me try. I think that's fine. Yeah, okay, we're fine. That one can be a little bit tricky to make that. There is a easier strat for that one where you go slightly back, further back towards where you were. Don't want to get hit there. But overall, that was already a good start here. For this next section here, we're actually gonna... I gotta do two things here. First of all, I need to get an extra coin, because otherwise I can't make this one skip over here. I'm actually using camera manipulations here. I turn the camera back at a very specific timing, just so these ice platforms appear back here at the right timing. Just so we don't have to defeat those 5 enemies. And then finally, we're not done yet. There's actually a manip for this boss fight. Overall, he'll just drive around and shoot you with either coconuts or fire balls. There's a manip for that to make him go to not do one specific attack. So we skipped that one coconut on purpose, and we actually want to hit him right about there. And right now, if we hit him fast enough on the second and third hit, we won't go into his super slow attack, which... oh. I think that's still fine.
The super slow attack that you mentioned is just that he just shoots a bunch of these fireballs and coconuts in the air. And that's slow. So, if you trust your hits on the second and third phase, skipping the first coconut's actually faster. If you don't, since it would go in that attack anyways, might as well just do the normal strat.
Yeah. To be honest, it's technically faster to go for that attack because for some weird reason, when he's shooting them up, the coconuts do have a hitbox, but it's like super inconsistent to hit them back then. I think optimally it could be like 2 seconds faster, but this strat is like much more consistent than just... otherwise you lose like 20 to 30 seconds on the other thread. So yeah, that was Shiverburn. I'm so happy that basically nothing went wrong there, only the extra coin that I needed to grab. Oh yeah, that's good. Now we can head to Upside Dizzy, a variant to Right Side Down Galaxy we saw earlier. Just slightly more difficult stage, but overall same concept. You got gravity, got 2D sections, gravity's going up and down, and also a secret with box breaking minigame.
Which is totally not in the pipe we just saw.
Totally not. Why would you think that? You know, it's definitely not in an obvious spot. I'm just gonna triple jump up here. It's fine. You know, overall, switching gravity is slow, so you kind of want to try to avoid it. Here we'll skip a little bit of this section by just barely getting high enough here to get to the upside down gravity part.
You technically can make it without even switching gravity, but it's kind of annoying sometimes to make it. Depends on the position of the enemies, it's really annoying.
Yeah, now we get to this very long part where gravity is continuously changing up and down. Kind of want to... You know, there is a few annoying parts here, but overall... Still pretty solid.
Mind if I do a quick shout out?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Alright, well, just want to let everybody know, like, yeah, if you like what you're seeing here at ESA, and maybe you want to get more involved in our community, come on over to the ESA Discord. We're at discord.gg/ESA Marathon, and we've got an incredibly friendly, welcoming community that has a ton of fun before, during, and after each and every one of our events. You can also get up-to-date information from our Twitter. We're at twitter.com/ESA Marathon. And if you're tuning in and find that you've missed out on a run, you know, you people from the future who are watching this, you know, you can always see the VODs of all of our runs, both on Twitch and on our YouTube channel.
Time traveling with your voice here.
Wow.
From the world of tomorrow.
Hi, future people who are watching this. How's life nowadays? Anyway, yeah, we're going to this section here. We do a little bit of skip there just to get to the pipe slightly earlier.
No, wait, I want to ask something. Are we on Mars yet? They'll never answer.
They'll answer in the future. Yeah, again, a little bit of a box breaking thing that you have to find to unlock the pipe. It is actually possible to get stuck between two boxes when you're trying to triple jump up like that. I didn't want to risk it, so I actually went slightly out of my way to not make that happen. It actually happened in my PB, and I'm still sad about it.
Got stuck? Oh yeah, I know that. You can technically make it. I can make the cycle, which is really, really hard. You can technically just triple jump, break the box, and enter the pipe immediately. But it's really, really hard.
It's a rough one, and just getting stuck there, just you die and you lose like 30 seconds.
You die and you're really sad.
Hey look, I saved 30 seconds on my PB, how great.
Oh, how could have this happened? I don't know.
I don't know what my PB did. It's nice to have, I have my splits open for this run. It's nice to have those reminders of like, hey, pay attention during this one. Things can go wrong here. Overall, like a lot of the stages I don't really have to think about with just running it so often. But there's still some sections that you definitely want to make sure you don't go full autopilot, because that can be bad. Especially with the different categories in this game. There's like a few stages that sometimes we do them in any percent as Mario, but during, for example, 120 stars, we do it as Luigi. There's actually, for some stages, there's different threads, and if you think that you're Luigi, but you're actually Mario, you actually can just mess up on your thread, thinking like, oh, right, I'm not Luigi. Which we're gonna be seeing during the perfect run. I'm gonna play as Luigi, because I can do it as Luigi, but as Mario, I just don't know. Yeah, this is Blue Moon. Blue Moon is... there's a few very interesting things in here. First things first, we gotta go through this little maze here, which, of course, we know the path to. And we're gonna have a bunch of these moving platforms here, so... Unfortunately, speedrunning, we hate auto-scrollers, but luckily we can skip a few sections here or there. For example, here where we just...
The maze in Blue Moon 1 is actually pretty simple. The maze in Blue Moon 2 can be quite annoying casually. And it's also a bit tricky to remember, I guess. We're not used to it, but it's doable.
Yeah.
Memory is hard.
Yeah, as you can see, we can skip a few of these sections early by just landing on the next platform early. And we're actually gonna go for the secrets first, just to avoid the risk of accidentally going into Blue Moon 1. Doesn't really matter that much which one you do first. Or when... Nice jump, Mario! Did I hit the checkpoint? Okay, I did.
You did.
Okay. Let's just ignore that just happened. Hi, this is Blue Moon Secret. We're actually doing Blue Moon Secret first because, you know, if we do Blue Moon Secret first, we're always forced to go into Blue Moon 1 afterwards. We're not gonna be doing Blue Moon Mission 2 because...
Okay, we're already trying traveling to the future, now we're traveling to the past, that's what you're saying?
Yes.
Oh,
technically...
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
By the way, guys, got time for one more donation?
One quick sec. We're gonna try to do a long jump here. There we go. And then we get to the star. You skip the entire final section there. Now you can go.
Excellent. Well, Tiny Tim, our very own Tiny Tim, donates a very curious amount of $24 and says, "Hail, Nordic Mario. I think we need that. Cheers." So, thank you so much for making donation, Tiny Tim. We're gonna talk Mario the rest of the time. We meet the goal. We're gonna go for it.
Oh yeah, thank you so much, Tim. Tim is a great guy.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Hey, more Mario noises! Yeah, we're heading back into Blue Moon 1, and overall it starts out pretty much the same. Also, hi Luigi. But there's actually... I'm actually gonna go for a little skip that we couldn't go for before, because, you know, there's a skip. There's quite a bit of a trick that we can do to get into the launch star. It actually involves some weird gravity shenanigans, so... I mean, that just sometimes happens in Galaxy. Gravity is weird.
That's up a bit more in Galaxy 1 since there's no Yoshi, so the skips, when they're present, are more... I guess, gravity-based. Yoshi just makes everything... Yes, let's flutter.
So I'm actually gonna jump on this platform just so that wall goes up. That way, after a while, the gravity will change. Once we get high enough, we'll change towards the wall there. And if we then long jump over there, we can barely make our long jump into the launch star there. Explaining something while you're executing it is sometimes hard. Oh, I grabbed so many star bits! I didn't mean to.
Just collect the silver stars. Which at the end of this section I find pretty tricky, because, again, not running any percent too often, I just go immediately for the green star. Let's see another... Oh wait, I'm doing any percent, right?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely also one of those instances where you shouldn't always let muscle memory get ahead of you. If you're just used to one category and then realize that, like, wait, where's the green star? Or imagine the other way around. You think you have to collect a green star, but you actually collect a regular star. I mean, I've never had that happen before in Blue Moon, but I've had instances before where I go for a green star, but I accidentally just collect the regular star. Because I'm not thinking.
Replaying stages in this game sometimes can get a bit tricky in that regard. Sometime, I think it was 2018, a runner lost a world record to grabbing the wrong star in Galaxy 1. I mean, he started on the run, he got a world record afterwards, but it's just kind of... You have to feel bad in that moment, because like, come on.
Yeah, that's just so sad to think about. let's think fun things like Shiverburn Comet. Actually, this entire stage is made out of ice, but if we actually start ice skating and jump into the Rainbow Star, it can actually cause it to that we start running instead of ice skating. Overall, ice skating is still pretty fast, but with running, you just have so much more control than with ice skating.
Not just that, but I also think that when you're running, you don't get the like few frames of stopping that you get with the ice skating when you hit an enemy.
Oh really? I didn't even know that.
I think there's a very small amount of frames whenever you hit an enemy. That's much less pronounced than in Galaxy 1. In Galaxy 1, if you hit an enemy when you're ice skating, it just stops you for like almost half a second, or you stopped and then you move on.
Yeah.
In this game, it's a bit less pronounced, but they're still dead. Whereas if you're running on an enemy with a start, you don't have that, which makes it better.
Alright, that was World 5 already. World 5 just flew by. There's like a few galaxies in here that are just slow and boring. One of the very few Hungry Lumas we don't unlock because it's like a fluttered stage, and fluttered stages are just slow.
I mean, we don't even touch a fluttered stage just to explain what is fluttered at this point.
Yeah. Fluttered, it's the birds and motion controls. Birds plus motion control, does that properly explain it?
I guess that's good enough. I mean, I don't find the stages particularly bad, but then again, I think I have like I have pretty solid fluttered controls, as in I tend to have good times compared to the rest of the community in those, so maybe that might be why.
Oh. Actually using the zooming in thread. Very unknown thing as well. If you hold Z and if you hold Z and move your pointer towards the screen, you'll actually zoom in. I didn't learn this about Galaxy until like a few months ago. I was like so surprised by that.
Now here's the location of a very interesting green star. Like, there's a green star here in the post game that's almost on the death plane, and the cannon shot is very, very, very tricky. So it can be quite annoying to get. Luckily, there's no need to in this particular run.
That's probably one of my least favorite parts about green stars, is Boom Bunker green. It's like such a precise shot, and overall my hand is not the most stable thing out there. It's super difficult to get that consistent.
And that cannon shot, that also what doesn't help is that the hitbox for some reason feels off. Like generally stars have a hitbox that's relatively consistent, but the hitboxes in Boom Bunker feel off, which might be because they tried to correct them in order to make that harder or easier, but it just feels wrong for some reason. So sometimes you can just think that you've hit it and you haven't, or vice versa.
Yeah, this is Bowser Jr., he's back for some shenanigans. He's in this tower, and for the first two hits are usually the very easy ones. For the third one, there's actually a pretty easy setup for that one. If you still have a cloud, you can just go over here. And if you just start backflipping up, you'll just start moving towards you, and you can just get a quick hit in like that. I remember casually doing the Daredevil mission in this one, and I could never beat it due to having to do that final hit without getting hit. Because once you don't get it, or at least if you don't do that thread, he just starts moving away from you, he keeps shooting electric balls at you, there's so many things that can hit you, and it's just annoying.
Having a setup in that helps a lot. The other thing that you can do is just get on the top layer of clouds, get the flower, and just jump so far in the sky that he doesn't basically can't attack you.
Yeah.
But that's low, obviously, so.
We don't do that.
Nah.
Anyway.
Got a fast.
Anyway, we're heading towards the final world, or, well, for the 80% run. There's technically a secret world after World 6. Yeah, we're heading to World 6, which means we're actually getting kind of close to the end of the run. No roll. We've been doing pretty good, alright. No major mistakes, I would say. But you know, this is World 6. I've actually lost the PB here 2 days ago. But wow.
The classic case of like, yes, I made it. I just need to stroll for the rest of the game, and the game just comes at you. You're just riding your motorcycle, somebody with a baseball bat from the side of the road, bam!
Yes.
Nope. You thought it was gonna. You were done. You thought it was gonna be easy. Nope.
Yeah. Overall,
sucker punched into oblivion.
Yeah, World 6 is definitely not as difficult as World 4 and 5, but it still has its tricky parts here and there. Yeah, we're gonna be starting out with the Spool Star pad here. Skipping a few there because overall Pool Stars are slow. Only if you grab them from like really far away you get quite a bit of momentum, but if you grab them like if they're really close, they just get barely any momentum and it's just gonna take forever.
A very interesting thing to do if you're interested in this game or even like technical stuff about the game. You can watch a comparison of TAS versus human player in the Pool Stars. It's insane how much optimization you can do on a TAS regarding the Pool Stars because it's just so hard to optimize as a human. But if you see a TAS, it's just insane. It's completely insane.
So over here, can technically skip one tornado here. Can barely get high enough to grab this thing here. Can go all the way right, all the way left. And I can barely make it. Alright, this next part is gonna be a bit sketchy. We're at 1 health, and I kinda need to be careful around here. I'm gonna be grabbing... Fine, it's a marathon run. I'll grab 2 backup coins.
But luck is coins, anyway.
Normally I only grab 1 coin there, but... For marathon safety, I'll grab 2 of them. Because usually at the end here I get hit once. Because I'm not fast enough.
To make the cycle.
Yeah. And as you can see, the gravity around those planets are like... It's like super weird, and sometimes you just get knocked all over the place and you just get wombo comboed into death. But hey, that didn't happen. Grabbing the coin was useless. I mean, the second coin.
It's not true, we gave you energy and gave you the confidence to make it.
True. With that extra confidence, I know we're going strong.
We gonna do it, you and me, huh?
Yeah, up next is Melty Monster 2. The stage where... wait. I say we do Melty Monster 2. I move away from Melty Monster. Just, apparently I were not doing it.
Ah yes, this stage.
Yeah, this one is... Casually it's like... for the regular star, this stage is pretty alright. This is normally... Since we use the bank node, luckily we don't have to go to grind for star bits, but this is usually the stage that you go for star bit grinding, just because you can get so many so quickly. Yeah, we gotta use the Boulder power up again, and during this particular stage, once we get to the final section, which is, well, final section, the main section, once you get to that section, you can't use a trick that we mentioned before, where you ground pound out of the boulder, which, I mean, in general, it's slow to get out of the boulder, but it is kind of a bit annoying if you know, like, if you kind of want to save it if you accidentally mess up. Or, you know, for the green star here, it would be super nice as well if that was a thing, because it's like, or you go YOLO setup or whatever.
You go for the YOLO setup.
Yeah.
If you're a true champ, you're doing a 602, you go for the YOLO setup.
Wow.
Sorry, I had to flex at least once.
But yeah, since you mentioned that, I don't think we have actually really talked about it. The 602 is actually a thing that a lot of Galaxy 2 runners participate in. It's a big race that happens twice a year, which lets like a ton of people race through Mario 64, Mario Sunshine, Mario Galaxy 1, and Galaxy 2 all in a row. All 100%, which totals to 602 starts. It's like a 20 to 23 hour run, well, depending on how fast you are. Like, approximately a full day of running, and overall it's always a ton of fun. I usually join in them, so yeah, if you enjoy long Mario games and whatnot, make sure to keep an eye out for those as well.
It's always fun to see people being like completely degenerate after 16 hours of no sleep runs.
Yeah. I always enjoy doing it very much. It's good fun. Always at like the 60-70 hour marks, it's always like you feel like crap and you're like, why did I do this? But in the long run, it's always fun. Anyway,
it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, by now we're bowling. Overall, there's 56 spins on this map. We need to hit a total of 50 or more. Right now, so far, I missed one, which I deem good enough to go for a cycle skip here. You see that there's 3 on the bottom there that didn't want to wait for. So now I can only miss one more. Well, I still got them. We end up with 5100. You can wait.
Number of pins. Thank you for the information.
I always count in my head. Like whenever I get there, I'm like, all right, in total I can miss 3. Otherwise, if I miss too many early on, I have to get those 3 extra. Usually, if I miss 2 by that part, I go for the extra ones because it can sometimes be, with all the moving platforms, it can sometimes be a little bit tricky to hit all of them towards the end.
Also, ban chimp.
Back chimp. Alright, we're gonna go to Clockwork Runes now, and we're not actually gonna do the regular stage in here, we're only gonna do the secret in this one, because the regular stage is super long. It's like, and it's actually really tricky because there's like a ton of rolling things that can kill ya, it's a lot of, quite a few precise jumps, and if we have to do this as Mario, I even mess up when I'm Luigi, so imagine how often I mess this up if I would be Mario.
Also, right, we also don't get the comet medal here, as well as Fluffy Bluff, because, I mean, granted, you don't finish the stage where the comet medal is, but you still finish the secret, so...
Yeah, true.
At any rate, we need 30 coins here. And as you can see, this place can be quite punishing. Again, it's another stage where, if you start running this game, or are a newer runner, it's really just... Sometimes it's really, it just looks like the entire game is just telling you to stop running in this stage.
That one actually went really, really well.
Yeah, it's actually one of my favorite stages, by the way.
Yeah, if you pull it off, it's super satisfying because you get to actually do really fun movement throughout the stage. Yeah, need 30 in total, and the Angry Luma is right down here. Imagine if that block with 10 coins wasn't there. Also, nice camera happened there.
Now there's gonna be a final skip here, which is annoying sometimes because I've had from my experience that this skip here is just very... Yeah, stuff like that can happen, or you get a ghost wall kick, or just... There's just a lot of stuff that can go wrong overall here.
Yeah, and that moving platform also messes with your angle often as well. That's what happened there a few times where I was just not be able to get a good angle. There's very few, very many small things that can go wrong there. Anyway, 60 stars, we're almost done. Only 10 more stars before we can head to Bowser. I mean, we're in the final world anyway.
So you gotta mention that we're not gonna take the conventional route to get to Bowser here, because you have actually two routes. One of them requires you to do a Hungry Luma Galaxy and then another galaxy, and the other one, which is the one we're going down now, but we're not gonna do the last stage of, is the conventional route. And we're not gonna do the last stage because it's pretty long. So, Battle Belt is infamous for, well, being very long.
Being long and annoying. It also has like the hardest boss fight in the entire game, I would say.
Yeah. It's really a tough stage, so if you can do a route that's faster and easier, well, I'll take it.
But yeah, hello everyone, we're playing Mario 64 Randomizer now, we're at the end of the marathon. Right now we're trying to look for a star, but apparently the one over here isn't here anymore. So, yeah.
Oh no.
Maybe on top of the thing. Let's see, can we find... Maybe King Womp is up here. Oh, he's actually up here. Who knew? But yeah, anyway, joking aside. Throwback Galaxy, basically a copy of Womp's Fortress, but with the other thing that instead of just finding the boss on top of the thing, actually drop to the bottom and actually get a proper boss fight. Well, it's more than a boss fight than King Womp was in Mario 64. Because it actually takes more than 10 seconds. Yeah,
also, you can do all sorts of wonky stuff with the momentum here if you stay on top of the wall there. But I wouldn't advise anybody to try it. I mean, I wouldn't advise Frosty to try it now because you can get yeeted off the stage.
I'm gonna try it anyway, but you told me not to.
This is the last cycle. How can you try again?
I'll purposely avoid this hit so I can do it. Okay, let's not. We're here to go fast, not to show off.
What if you can go fast and show off?
Yeah, why not the both?
Sure, I'll try that. I'm sure I can go fast and show off somewhere. What do we have coming up? Throwback 2? Yeah, sure, I can show off. Don't know how yet, but I'll find a way. So as you can see, like Elias mentioned, that path unlocks further now, but we're not actually gonna go there. Because Battle Belt is stupid. So yeah, for Throwback 2, we're actually... Well, of course we're going back to Womp's Fortress. This time around, it's definitely they added some more to it. Overall, there's like... We need to collect 5 silver stars, and there's a cloud power-up, which is actually needed to get all of them. I mean, I think you can get all 5 of them, but I think you'll die after grabbing the 5th one on the cloud. But... I don't know. Anyway, we're collecting 5 silver stars, and we're walking... Oh, you can actually bounce on that bomb and go slightly faster. That was... I tried to show off there, but that didn't work. That was the only thing I could think of in this stage, that's show off.
You can do a proper flash black one. It's a pretty tough stage.
Yeah, fair.
Just do the forbidden flutter.
No.
Also,
we don't
that
talk about that. These are forbidden.
actually, we just gave it that name. Honestly, it's just that we were discussing about it. We need to give strats more interesting names because, come on, like everybody loves it, like strats interesting names. Like, why don't we call this the Forbidden Flutter? All right. So from like 3 days ago, this is now on the Forbidden Flutter. Especially because a lot of people try it and fail it because they, due to the thing that I mentioned at the very start of the run, so the momentum and the fact that you have to be moving backwards. In order to get that flutter properly, you need to have an angle that's not 90 degrees towards straight, but it's like 91. It's very, very slightly turned away. So you can just go strutter, you can just flutter in a straight line but he still gain time, gain the speed. So it's really really weird.
Yeah, let me not try that. I feel like stuff is gonna go wrong. And then
Oh, you'll have a chance to try that in about 2 weeks.
Fair. Alright, feeding our final hungry Luma here. Usually have a little bit of extra star bits. Usually I grab a little bit extra out of the bank, just to make sure that I don't have to talk to Toad here again to get more star bits. Because you need like 4,800 when you go talk to bank Toad. At that point I usually go for like 48.5, 249. Well, I think you even need slightly less. But you know, just get over 4,800 and we're usually pretty safe.
Or you can just go like me, like 4.7, and then just get 100 throughout the game.
Or that. Or don't talk to Bank Toad at all and just collect 4,800 throughout the run.
Ah, that sounds wonderful. Why don't we do that all the time?
Yes. But yeah, we're heading into Flashback here, and as you can see, the concept of the stage is that for most of the time the stage is dark, only it will flash now and then to show your platforms. Luckily, you know, I know where most of the platforms are, so... I mean, I know, like, there's enough visual indications that I know what's coming up.
And also, like, the deduction powers granted by adulthood might let you believe that where there's an enemy, there's also solid ground, generally, if unless it's flying. But that might be stretching the deductions a bit too much.
That pumpkin Goomba. That pumpkin Goomba can troll you. Like, you don't... Sometimes you just get hit over and over by it and it's, like, annoying. Yeah, we get to the second section with the silver stars, and luckily, you know, we have, like, all these visual indications that you can still see regardless.
Saves.
Saves and
Totally
speedrunning.
intended. Totally
Totally
intended.
intended. Wanted to make it there early. Easy. Whatever goes wrong there, right? Sometimes this stage can act a little bit weird. If you hit like an enemy that exact same frame as that the flash would appear, the flash doesn't actually appear. Or I think it has something to do with that. Because sometimes I just go through that stage and it's just, oh, a flash didn't appear because I hit an enemy or something. It's super weird because sometimes it doesn't happen and sometimes it does. This game is broken sometimes. When Yoshi's involved, this game is broken.
I don't think there's a single game containing Mario and Yoshi where Yoshi wasn't broken in some sort of way, shape, or form.
Super Smash, maybe? I don't know.
I don't know, I guess. Then again, Smash Bros. 1, like for 64, is broken as hell. Melee also has some interesting jank. So.
Oh yeah, right now we're heading into Slimy Spring, or how people like to call it, Sleepy Spring. Because, you know, after... Usually when you do like if you're doing like 242 for example, and it's like your end of your run, you're starting to get tired, and there's just not much going on in this stage. What you do is you grab a shell and you just go through this entire underwater section.
Plus the music is super sleepy, like it's very relaxing, but it's just this combination of things that just makes you space out so much. It's insane.
So yeah, I think what we need to stay awake is someone who can imitate Mario like perfectly and maybe talk about a few things what might be important.
Well, we got lots of important things coming up. You know, coming up later tonight, we got this game. It's called Knit Stories. And there's an incentive out there. It making no sense to me. They say don't eat the mushroom. Now, why wouldn't you eat the mushroom? The mushroom make you strong. It make you powerful. But if we get another, what, $35? They'll say don't eat the mushroom. And they'll do a meme run that has a totally different ending to that game. So get that money in, and we'll check that out this evening.
So yeah, this second section is luckily, it feels a bit faster, because you at least have these dash rings to go through this section and actually makes you go fast. And again, star bits, let's shoot the boost. Yeah. One very good thing about this stage though is who we get to see at the end, because we haven't seen it in a while, and I always try to shout him out, especially whenever Green Snowduck is in my chat, because he runs a game which has this character in it. Oh, you know, all we gotta do is throw this shell. And look, it's Captain Toad! I'm for adventure! Sorry, Snowduck is so much better at those Toad voices. Hello! Yes, thank you. So yeah, as you can see,
Captain Toad, or he should rightfully be known Captain Chad, because honestly, let's be real here, this Toad is a Chad.
yeah.
He finds more stars than Luigi in this game, alright? Let's sink in for a second.
I mean, during 80%, yes.
Yeah, exactly.
If we do green stars or 120, then no, but sure.
I mean, you could still play as Mario all the time.
Okay, fair.
Why would you do that? That's beyond me, but you could.
Because it saves switching to Mario. It saves a little cutscene. Yeah, okay, that's not. Anyway, before we still need a few stars. We have the path basically open towards the end. All we need right now is stars to make it. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do right now. Just go back to some previous stages that we were in before. Starting with Haunty Halls, where it's basically Haunty Halls 2 again, with just a bunch of yahooing. Oh, and I guess there's cosmic clones, but do those really pose a problem?
Not really. Cosmic clones are slow. Nintendo make them faster. Please.
Wait,
They should have a higher run speed than you can catch up.
Wait, give me a moment here. You say that cosmic clones are slow, but they're just as fast as Mario.
So yeah, I'm saying that
And
I'm throwing shade here.
Wow! Wow! Can I still get a new commentator at this point?
I think it's a bit too late.
Oh. Wow, whatever. I'm still going on a good pace, I think. I'm having fun, I'm going fast, I think. And yeah.
Sorry, if you hand me the opportunity there in a silver plate, I'm just like, well, sure, I'll take it. I'll take this straight to the bank.
Alright.
One of the best stars in the game.
Ooh, yeah, B-block comments. There's always the indication that you know that you're good on comments, comment medals. Because if this doesn't appear right now, then it's kinda... then you forgot something. And overall, we're doing beat block again. This time, however, instead of it changing like every 4 to 5 seconds, the blocks, they're gonna switch like every second. Even faster, I think.
It's 4 times. It's 4 times as fast,
Yeah.
I think.
Well, and with that, you know, pretty much the stage is as good as the same, except for, well, 2 exceptions. First things first is the stage at the end, or the platform at the end is different. And we get to have Yoshi. So we're not doing that part, we're just flying over. I actually think this part is easier to do with Mario than it is with Yoshi. So... oh. And you can long jump. That's always nice. Oh boy.
You do it in the reverse order compared to me.
Wait, you do it in reverse order?
Yes.
Wanted to make sure there. Sometimes really weird if you like collect the final superstar at a specific timing. The blocks might still be in the transition of going through the other blocks. Well, it seems like there will be a block underneath you. But then right when the cutscene ends, you realize like, oh, there's not a block underneath you. it was good enough for now, but I've had it happen once in a run where I was like, oh, there's a platform underneath me, and then there wasn't. Oh, and I died. So at that point, I always kind of play that one safe. Just always spin there. Anyway, we're going to Gravity Gauntlets, which is a World 4 star, but it's actually faster to move to World 5 and then move backwards instead of going to World 4 and heading all the way into the world and then going through there. Like small movement optimizations like that. Just a few seconds. Oh, oops. Don't you dare, Nunchuck. Don't you go die on me. We're almost done.
We still need to implement the bot that Alex suggested in the Galaxy Discord. It's a bot called Nunchuck Bot. Whenever you add him, it disconnects. It just exits from the Discord.
Wow. Anyway, we're back in Gravity Gauntlets, and we're gonna do the same skip as before. Of course, I was hoping on the timer, yeah. So I grabbed that 1 clock on purpose, just so you have enough time to go through this section here. So hopefully last second adjustment, because I noticed that I was too far left. We made it though. Can go over here. No, don't you dare. That platform can actually squash.
Can you get squished there?
Yes, yes you can.
I never know, it never happened to me, but you sound like you're talking from experience.
Yes. That definitely happened to me before. Stop it! Please. Uncheck. This is because I'm laying it on my lap and I'm slightly pushing it out. Let's not do that. I mean, it's been 3 hours so far. Give it up for hour 3. And yeah, now Starshine Beach, and this is a really fast start as well. I think this is like... I mean, obviously the Honeybloom one is the fastest. But this one gets kind of close, with all the extra cutscenes of like, there's a prankster coming. It becomes a bit slower, but...
There's a prank comet, funny man.
Ah, what a prank. So yeah, goal in this stage, as you can see, you grab Yoshi, get a dash pepper, and you run. Run as fast as you can. Luckily in this stage you don't have to get all the coins, you only... There's 140 if I remember correctly.
Are you gonna do a skip?
We're actually gonna go for a skip here, because I actually got quite a few coins. So I actually skipped the corner here a little bit. Oh, I was a bit slow on my food crap, but whatever. If you have plenty of coins there, you can kind of skip the corner there and save a little bit of time. That one out of the way. That's all the backtracking in this world. All the backtracking we're doing now is in World 6. We're backtracking to the world where we're at.
It should be the last 2 stars.
Yes.
Before bows. The bows.
Or the Bowser,
This time it won't be able to be a sore loser for the 3rd time, I'm afraid.
Imagine if he did. Imagine if there's a World 7 and 8 afterwards. Like the original Mario game where you have 8 worlds. Oh. Then we're gonna be here for a while, I think. But yeah, the comment in this one is just exactly the same as the Throwback 2 that we did earlier. Only small thing that's different is like right at the start here. You get to this stage on a slightly different angle. So at this point we gotta jump over this guy. But that's like the only thing that's different. For the rest it's like exactly the same as before. Well, oh, and I guess that platform moves slightly different, but... So yeah, if there is still something to... Oh! Safe! 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 Let's go.
You were so lucky on the slope. We haven't talked about slope physics in this game. Because generally they're talked about in relation to their Galaxy 1 counterparts. Because in Galaxy 1 you can do some interesting stuff with the slope, you can slope climb. But it has been removed from this game, because obviously Nintendo doesn't like glitches, unfortunately.
And why did they add Yoshi fluttering?
Because Yoshi, okay?
I was gonna say, you could have fooled me. They like the glitches.
At any rate, if you slide down from a slope and you're sliding on your front, it's called a belly slide. I'm not sure if you could save that. And at any rate, like the slope physics can kind of kill your spin sometimes. And that was a pretty nice save there.
Yeah, that definitely intended save there. I obviously didn't think I would die there.
I mean, did it or not, it was pretty cool.
I mean, yeah, that totally planned. I know my backups. So yeah, we're heading actually to the final regular star we're going to be collecting. Which is going to be the flash black gauntlet. And this one is... Stop that! Oh my god, I'm losing all my time to the nunchuck. But yeah, we gotta kill all the enemies in this one, and this one is actually... You need to have sort of a stable hand for this, because overall, killing these enemies is the fastest if you shoot a star within them and then just run into them. However, like I mentioned before, my aim is not always the greatest, so... I'm gonna try to do my best here, like using dual hands to stabilize my hand, because that's the only thing I can kinda do. Oh, it's fine.
Also, you may have noticed, but depending on the way you killed your enemies, you can get star bits or coins. And to get a coin, you have to jump on the top of the enemy, which is the usual Mario staple way to kill your enemies. But if you eat them with Yoshi, or spin at them, or shoot a star bit at them and kick them, or any other way, you will get at the end of it star bits. So losing a shot, like getting hit, means not only that you're gonna have to use a slower method to kill one of them if you want to get your health back, but you also lose the star bits that you would get from it. So it can be not ideal. Let's just say that.
Definitely can mess up with your star bit count, and then at the moment you think that you have a star bit and you're like, oh, I don't. You take like another hit, and then you actually have to start collecting coins. Anyway, most important skip in the entire game coming up. Oh my god, oh, I need to talk about this. So, you know, you see the final Bowser stage there? It's a very tricky one, hang on. Whew, we did it. Oh. So yeah, that's called Purple Idiot skip. It seems like nothing happens, but what actually, normally when you go there, when you stop in that spot in between, actually a cutscene triggers with the Purple Idiot, aka Luma, and that's just, he just talks to you. You get a cutscene like, yo, you're going to the final stage, this is it, good luck. But if you actually select the final stage with your pointer, the ship doesn't actually stop on that specific spot. Oh, wait, what am I doing?
It's not greens, my dude.
I don't even grab the live stream on greens.
What do you do for greens?
The weird fireball setup.
Oh, lovely.
Anyway,
I hate that stuff.
we're actually lava boosting into that wall there, just so we get a ton of momentum there, just so we can get to this final section without killing Hammer Bros. It's much more convenient. And then this next section, there's a big bullet bill coming at us, but we just run into an electric fence and we just clip right through it. Because at that point, we don't have to use a slow drill, and we can actually just skip to this final part here. Like, I'm just so quickly talking right now because there's so much stuff going on. The stage is filled with cool threads. Well, besides this part. This part is, you have clouds. I mean, I didn't even talk about one cloud trick yet. Normally when you create a cloud, Mario has a little bit of an animation of the cloud spawning. However, if you press D immediately after you create a cloud, you actually skip that animation. It's called a cloud cancel. So it's like a tiny bit of time, but with how many clouds you create there, it actually overall saves you like a second and a half, I think. And now we're gonna go to one more interesting part. This one can be a little bit tricky as well. I actually have an extra cloud, I'm just gonna avoid it. Because we got Yoshi, and instead of doing it the regular way, we're gonna flutter up this wall here. Because why not? And I'm actually gonna try to flutter all the way over there. Oh, don't do that. Oh my god. That should be enough. Yeah, alright.
Oh, barely.
Alright. That's definitely one skip that can be very unforgiving, because if you don't make that thing, you have to go like all the way back to checkpoint earlier. And it is a pretty precise angle. And the scariest thing that can happen there is that you actually get pulled into the gravity field of a previous planet. That's the one where, with the clouds, but you get kinda stuck on the outside of that planet, and then you basically suffer like, because you just keep on falling around the planet, and you actually have to manually leave the stage there. It's gonna be sketchy.
Also, this skip is one of the hardest in the game, comes right at the end of it, so totally not a recipe for disaster if you're on PvP pace and you need to nail this slaughter and you're just like, oh god, oh god.
Yeah. Oh, and the thing is, like, there's actually two different threads there, because if you do like 120 stars, you actually, the way we do it, we skip the combat medal. There's actually a different flutter for if you want to get the combat medal. So if you just start lining yourself up there and realize too late, like, oh, I needed to get the combat medal, or the other way around is just like, oh, yeah, okay. That's just gonna go bad now. Anyway, Bowser, hi. Sorry, didn't even say hi to Bowser. So,
Hi, let's all say hi to Bowser. Hi, Bowser.
Hello, King Bowser.
So yeah, we do the same trick as before, where we kind of delay one of our hits, just so we can skip one of his attack cycles of punching. And this time not messing up the hit right after. Yeah, now we get to this second phase. Oh, things will get really hectic with like a bunch of comets, all these lasers that go around, flames, planets stays on fire, ton of avoiding, but overall, the flutter before it is harder than this fight. By a ton. I mean, I gotta be honest, it's not like I always do this fight flawlessly, but overall, that flutter usually gives me more trouble.
I mean, I've died here before.
Yikes. Anyway,
Yeah,
so yeah, okay, that was Bowser. We're done.
Yep.
GG. And this time he actually falls into the abyss. He's gonna be gone forever.
I mentioned no chance for him to be a sword loser again. So
Yeah, we finally made it. There's the final star that we have to grab. Seems like we had a pretty good run.
yeah, it was pretty good. Like, actually, like the pace is really nice. The pace is really nice.
Oh, he's back! Who would have thought that that could happen?
Okay, so so that was a lie. Sword loser round 3.
Yeah, this time we get to this very... I mean, the music is great in this fight. Actually get a quick hit in there, ground pounding at just the right timing there. And yeah, basically what we do, we ground pound comment stores in. Music is great in this part though. Alright, that was it. It's such a banger song, and you don't even get to hear it like half of the song. So unfortunate. But yeah, now is the actual proper ending. I was memeing a bit before, but this is actually the final hit that we had to do. So time will be coming up soon. It will be when I actually touch the final Grand Star. And this time, trust me, no bait this time. So yeah, at that point, run's over, and yeah, overall, good run. But we're not going to be done yet. After that, I'm going to be showing off perfect runs, so don't immediately click away once the timer stops. And almost there. And
Almost there.
time. So yeah, good run.
Which are we gonna talk about the fact that you stopped for how much?
Yeah, I stopped for a bit. I mean, I kept my timer going, so even on my timer it's a PB, even with being stopped for like 30 seconds to restart my stream, so it was actually like almost minute PB for me. So if you would have
if you hadn't stopped, it would have been 1.5 minutes.
Yeah. So yeah, really good run, I would say.
GG.
So yeah,
ignoring Peach indeed. Just walk by. Yeah. We're done.
I mean, the no credit starts playing, but let's not linger too long. Oops, it's the other button. Oh, my Japanese is not what it's. I don't speak Japanese. But yeah,
time for a donation in between.
Yeah, sure. I have to set it up in a second. For a second.
Okay. Oh, we got $5 from Wilder Wiki. He says, "Can we get the more Mario soy, please? Also, don't eat the mushroom." So no, we're not gonna eat the mushroom, but we need $30 more to not eat the mushroom. We're almost there.
So yeah, right now, also as a donation incentive, thanks again everyone so much for donating for it. It's gonna be a great watch, I hope. Gonna be doing the perfect run, which is the final stage in the game. It's super difficult, and we can't get hit at all. And during some parts that can be a little bit tricky. So yeah, just gonna hope everything works out here. I'll probably be silent for most of the parts. So Elias, if you want to explain what's happening, then go ahead.
Sure. The stage is divided into 7 parts.
This should be the first. If I remember correctly, it's 7 parts. Normally, I just play through it and don't count them. So, but this is the first part. You just have to use Yoshi to constantly grab the flowers, and this is the most straightforward part. Normally, you would want to die once to reset cycles, but since this is already without cycles, we're missing the cutscene at the start. This is perfectly fine. This is the second part. Again, not the worst part ever. These first sections generally are not what makes the stage hard. Although it can be possible to die here.
You can die everywhere.
Yeah, you can die everywhere. You technically are not supposed to do this with Yoshi, but you can carry Yoshi through, so why not? Alright, this is the first proper hard part. In this section, you're gonna use the cloud flower to just go through in between these electric fences. Obviously, one hit and you're dead, so you want to avoid all of these walls going fast, which sometimes it's kind of not easy. Was pretty clean. Also, here is a pretty tricky long jump. If you can make it inside the hitbox of the launch star with 3 clouds, you can carry 3 clouds through, which is really good. Now, this is one of the trickiest section. So you're using a particular strat to avoid the first laser mine. Now, the next ones, if you know the cycles and you know the particular technical detail, that once you cross the mine, so once you're over half of it, it will stop shooting. So it's pretty easy then, if you know your timings, and at the point you can be safe. Now this final section will be cheesed a bit. As you can see, the death blade is quite low, so you can just release from the pool stars and then re-grab them to go above the fences here, which make this really hard. And now we have the final section, which is the one that generally tends to get everybody. There's a ton of boomerang bros, hammer bros, that will try to hit you and kill you in all sorts of horrible ways, from just bashing you to dropping you into the endless pit of despair. This final section at the end, you actually need to kill the 3 boomerang bros. which, as you can see by the number of objects and things with a hitbox, it can be quite scary. This is a particular strat that can be done. Also, you saw your Frosty trying to spin to... You can actually spin to kill the hammer, but that was pretty neat, honestly. That was pretty neat. One up. Oh, damn it.
Dang. I just tried to go past here.
You were supposed to grab the 1-up. That was really a pretty... Boomers everywhere, yes.
Yeah. Grab the 1-up and then jump off, because you can actually fall off that final stage, and you have to do it all over again. But yeah,
obviously, no hitboxes, no nothing. If you die once, you're gonna go back to the start. This is no checkpoints, so pretty nice.
Yeah. Well, that's gonna be it from me today. Thanks everyone so much for watching the run. I hope everyone had a ton of fun. Quick shoutouts to like the entire Galaxy community. They're like all great. Elias for joining me on the commentary.
It's been a pleasure.
Mario for joining us on donation reading. And yeah, if you are interested in running Galaxy or Galaxy 1 or 2, definitely go to speedrun.com. You'll find links to the Discord there. And yeah, I think with that, I've said everything that I wanted to say. Thanks all for watching, and bye.
All right, thank you so much, Shadow, for that awesome run. Thank you, Alice, for your commentary. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we are going to have World to the West being run by Seductive Spatula. So thank you so much for playing my game. We'll be back after the break.